What is up, hooligans? Happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. Go and read through a schedule really quick, and then we will be checking on all the chats. So let me know how you hooligans are doing today. Then, of course, we will be getting things started. First, I want to give a huge shout out to Simply Witchy. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I really appreciate all your support. Thank you so much. We'll be starting off with this first video titled Trump Speaks to Reporters and Takes Questions Before Departing for Pope Francis's Funeral. It's a little bit noisy in this video, but figured some updates straight from the Orange Eagle. Then we got a video titled Trump 2028 merch sparks third term buzz online. And people are getting bent out of shape. Now, I don't think President Trump's actually going for a third term. If anything, he might be alluding to one of his kids running in the next presidential race. I really think he's just trolling, and I think he should make some Project 2025 merch just to keep it going. Then we got a video titled Highway Chase Ends in Illegal Border Crossers Swimming Back to Mexico. A couple of them got away, but not everybody. Then we got a video titled Florida Bill Would Let You Shoot Down Surveillance Drones. It's a nice thought, but it doesn't sound like it's anything that's going to be happening soon, but we'll see. Then we got John Kennedy here. This is titled Utter Nutters, Senator Kennedy, on what AOC and the left have become. They do a lot of talking about what it would be like if AOC actually ran for president. He says go for it. Then we got video titled Trump Directs DOJ to Probe Democrats' top funding platform. They're talking about Act Blue is going to be under investigation. They think that it's getting funded from foreign countries. That's pretty interesting. Then we got video titled Federal Judge Rules on Trump Citizenship Proof Order for Voting. These judges, they don't want people to prove that they're actually a citizen of America in order to vote, which is obviously wrong. But, you know, they got to stand in the way of everything that President Trump is doing. Then we got a video titled Luigi Manion pleads not guilty to federal charges in CEO killing. It would be pretty crazy if he actually wasn't the shooter, but considering he was caught with the 3D printed firearm, I assume he is the shooter. Then we got a video titled Trump admin says no warrant was needed to arrest Columbia student activist Mahmud Khalil. It's just another reason put him in the news. Now people are all bent out of shape that he was arrested without a warrant. They do mention that he was provided a warrant later on, but there was no warrant when he was arrested. I don't really know what to think about all of this because he was a green card holder. He did things that caused his green card to get revoked. He also lied on his visa. So I don't know if he needs a warrant for his arrest or not. That's kind of something that's limited to American citizens. So I don't really know. I'm not bent out of shape about it. Then we got a follow-up video, sort of. It's news plus a little follow-up. This is titled Pam Bondi details judge's actions before arrest, saying you can't make this up. Yesterday we covered a judge that was housing and providing firearms to a Tren de Aragua member. Now we have another judge that was trying to help out an illegal, and they're both been arrested. So yesterday we were talking about that judge. We weren't sure if that person was arrested. Apparently he was. They mention it in this video. And this other judge tried to get this illegal out of the courthouse, smuggle them away, and they were arrested as well. So these judges are supposedly being held accountable for aiding and abetting illegals. Then we will be doing an unboxing because I got a couple packages in the mail. And then we will be opening today's door of the advent calendar that was sent to us by Hair Juicer. And then while we're covering the news today, I will have to go find 2 funny videos of the day because somehow I built the schedule and forgot to actually do that. So we will have 2 funny videos of the day. I still got to figure that out. Either way, we're going to read through the chat really quick, and then we're going to go ahead and get things started. What is up, everyone, over on jeffmaclive.com. What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Russell? What's up, Matt Rogers? What's up, Jay Spray? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone over on Rumble? Bobby, you were first today. Nah, I appreciate you racing to the chat, Bobby. What's up, Kevin? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. What's up, Too Old to Care? What's up, MU? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Mr. Satan? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Screaming Eagle? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tony Rez? You hooligans, hit that like button. See if you can get us on the front page. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy freedom. And what is up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, Meta? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone over on Twitch? Matt Rogers, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom. And what is up, everyone over on the Goof Tube? Cheeky Chops, you were first today. Matt Rogers, you're truly omnipresent. What's up, Rhonda? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Dave? Mr. Satan, you over here on the Goof Tube as well. What's up, Patriot Roy? Happy freedom. What's up, Craig? Happy freedom to you. Let's see. How long before suspension of habeas corpus? I don't even know what that is, Craig. Let me see. What's up, Vinny C? What's up, Mills? Is it Mills? Yeah, it's Mills. Happy freedom to you. You hooligans, welcome. Hit that like button as well. And what is up, everyone over on X? What's up, Tony Rich? Appreciate you being omnipresent. All right, hooligans, let's go ahead and get into things, and then I can try and figure out what our funny videos are going to be. Holy, you hear my Gatorade blow up over here? That was something else. It's not a pager, it's just a Gatorade. Anyways, like I said, we're getting into this first video here. It's a little bit noisy. It's titled Trump Speaks to Reporters and Takes Questions Before Departing for Pope Francis's Funeral. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, we have these Trump was right about everything t-shirts. Now, this design was created by Alistair. And Alistair is a badass in just about everything he does. So I will be posting his link in all of the chats for you hooligans to have the opportunity to hire him for your creative needs. Because if you think it, he can create it. Now, this design does come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, dog tags, and we've made long sleeve shirts out of this. I think we made a couple of items, extra items in this design. I'll have to go back and remind myself of what all we made. But either way, today I got on the Bars and Stars hooligan badge. We got lots of items and lots of designs over in the merch store. I'll be dropping all the links in the chats while we're watching this first video.
I spoke to him numerous times. So we're leaving and going to Rome, where we'll be attending the funeral of Pope Francis. Some of you are going to go. Anybody going? And it's going to be very interesting. We're going to meet with a lot of the foreign leaders. They want to meet. Trade deals are going very well. I think Russia and Ukraine, I think they're coming along, we hope. It's very fragile. And Iran, I think, is going very well. We'll see what happens. We're working on plenty of things that shouldn't be worked on because none of this stuff should have happened. This should have been taken place by Biden. It should have been fixed by Biden, but he couldn't do it, nor could he come close to doing. So anyway, we're going to Rome to pay our respects, and we'll be leaving that same day. We'll be coming back home tomorrow night. And I'll see some of you over there. Otherwise, I'll see you on television.
Meeting this morning. You said you spoke with President Xi. Have you spoken to him since the tariffs? When did you last
I don't want to comment on that, but I've spoken to him many times. Yeah. From Japan. From Japan, I'm getting along very well with Japan. We're very close to a deal.
Will you be meeting with the President?
I'll be meeting with the Italian. Yes. Your Prime Minister? Oh, it's possible.
How would you as the First Lady remember Pope Francis, sir? How would you the First
Very well. Good man. He loved the world, actually, and he was just a good man. I met him twice. I thought he was a fantastic kind of a guy.
Time magazine that President Xi called you. When did that happen, and what did you discuss?
I'll let you know at the appropriate time. Let's see if we can make a deal.
The Witkoff-Putin meeting. Any updates on the Witkoff-Putin meeting, sir? The meeting right now. What do you hope to see transpire?
They're meeting with Putin right now as we speak, and we have a lot of things going on. And I think in the end we're going to end up with a lot of good deals, including tariff deals and trade deals. We're going to make our country rich. But we're going to try and get out of war so that we can save 5,000 people a week. And that's what my aim is. I want to save 5,000 young men. They happen to be mostly Ukrainian, Russian. 5,000 young Ukrainian and Russian men. And that's a big honor if I can do it. I think we're pretty close. No deadline. I just want to do it as fast as possible. What?
Over your tariff plan. What do you say to those who voted for you?
I think the tariff plan is doing very well. We're resetting the table. We're going to make our country very rich, very, very rich. It's already happening. Thank you very much.
I could cut the video, but I like to watch a president that's able to walk up the stairs there and all of that, you know. Look at that. Look at that. He did it. Holy, 4 years, old man shit your pants. It's quite an accomplishment to climb stairs. Either way, that's President Trump answering questions from the press. Closest thing we'll have to a press briefing today. We're going to go ahead and get into this next one. This is titled Trump 2028 Merch Sparks Third Term Buzz Online. We're going to get through this video and then we'll be hopping in the chat. So let me get this pulled up really quick. Hold on, buddy. We ain't ready yet. All right, like I said, this is Trump 2028 merch sparks third term buzz online. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Let's focus briefly and lastly now on 2028. Live picture there at the White House. This piece of merch, piece of swag, if you will, it's getting a lot of attention online. Take a look at this. Eric Trump, President Trump's son, posting a photo of this red T-shirt there that says Trump 2028 in parentheses, rewrite the rules. Fox has this, that the Trump organization is back in the spotlight, this time with a bold new piece of headwear. And you see there outerwear. The official Trump store, the online retailer, launched a red Trump 2028 hat priced at $50 and made in America. And this shirt as well, the Trump Organization store selling the hat and the shirt there. So the rollout comes as the president, who's currently serving his second term, has once again teased the idea of extending his presidential legacy past 2028. So some are reading it that way, others are reading it the other way, that he may seek a third term, which is, of course, unconstitutional. And it does not allow for that in the Constitution. And so in a March interview with NBC News, he said, no, I'm not joking. He says there are methods which you could do it about a third term. However, the constitutional catch in all of this is the 22nd Amendment. It bars any U.S. president from being elected more than twice. You see there, the Trump War Room putting this out, a photo of Eric Trump wearing that very hat. They say rocking the new Trump 2028 hat, exclamation point. So, as you would imagine, this is getting a lot of attention online. Eric Trump there, he's doubling down. He posted this photo, modeling the hat and promoting the new merchandise. Among the replies was from the crypto betting platform Polymarket with a simple wide-eyed emoji. Other users chimed in with mixed reactions like, quote, the shirt doesn't mention which Trump it is, with a wink-faced emoji. Also, another user commented, not going to happen. We're MAGA, but we draw the line on this. Start looking now for someone to get voted in. Others said, nice troll, bro, to Eric Trump. So, the Trump store getting some new merchandise come 2028. I'll let all of you watching read into it for what you will.
Okay. Now that guy's trying to read this post and whatnot from X verbatim, but he sounds a little shaky in his voice. He had to bring up that it was unconstitutional for President Trump to run a third term. I don't know. I think President Trump's just trolling. I think he's just got him all butthurt. And I really think he should come out with Project 2025 merch. Why not? Why not say it? I don't know. I don't want to take it too far. But the stuff that the left says is so ridiculous. Like, maybe he should come out with T-shirts that say Social Security and Medicaid is next or something like that. Because it makes the left's heads explode. They just cannot handle real life. That's why they live in this delusional realm that they seem to stay in. Next up, highway chase ends in illegal border crosser swimming back to Mexico. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about President Trump answering questions from the press before going to Rome, as well as the new 2028 merch. Let's see. Russell, Trump can't run unless the Constitution is amended, and that is not possible with the makeup of Congress. Yeah, Russell, I don't think he's actually gonna try and run or anything like that. I think he just does that to make the left mad. Hair juicer Eric Jr. 2028. Yeah, see, and that's what I think. I think it's more like he's either trolling just to make him mad, or he's talking about Eric or Don Jr. It's one of the. Maybe it's both. Maybe it's both. Russell, Putin only has, what is this? It's out silent but deadly like a boss. Oh, Putin. Putin be Putin. That's how it goes. Snooks. Oh, I figured. I was going to Google it in a second. Hair juicer. Weird. I wonder why you're having those issues. Metal Mouth MAGA is enough reason for the liberals to freak out. Yeah, dudes walking around with their wieners still intact. Man, they can't stand that. Happy freedom to you, Metal Mouth. That's right, free the Texan. President Trump keeps his name in their mouth. Screaming Eagle Melania for president 2028. That would be interesting. I never even considered that. Free the Texan President Musk. No. Elon can't be president. You have to be a natural born citizen. What's up, MC? Happy freedom. This is definitely going to trigger the libs even more. Yeah, getting them all ready for summertime. They're going to be out here rioting. Told Gary he loves to stir the pot. Yeah, I think so. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Zupia? Happy freedom to you. Oh, yeah, Melania wasn't born in America. You're right, Zupia. I just said that about Musk. I don't know why I didn't think about that. You're right, Zupia. What's up, Pag? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Viola? Happy freedom to you. Weird, Meta. Yeah, send me a link if I haven't heard anything about that story. What's up, Rad? Happy freedom. What's up, Southern Eagleman? What's up, Wiggly Tough? Baron Trump for president. He's got a little bit. Yeah, I think you got to be 35 to run for president. Could you imagine having a 35-year-old president? Brad, I don't think Trump would survive another term. I don't know. I wouldn't think he would want to run a third term. This second term, I mean, it's going great and all. Well, it would be, but the judges won't get out of the damn way. It's really exposing how much corruption is in our country when the president can't even do presidential things, and everybody just seems to be okay about it, you know? One day, Wiggly Tough, yeah. And I think people will vote for Barron. Oh, there we go. The chat was all frozen on YouTube. Oh, Craig, I see what you're saying. The right to be charged at arrest and the right to a speedy trial. When is that going to be expired? Nah, we'll see. Lincoln suspended in 1861 under similar circumstances. Interesting. I don't know anything about that, Craig. Thank you for letting me know. It's something I will definitely think about. What's up, Devin? Happy freedom. Vice Trump, Mr. Satan. Maybe. Could you imagine President Trump being vice president? I don't know. I don't know. Like, he might do that. He likes the attention, I think. What's up, Blue Crow? Happy freedom. What's up, Juggalo? Happy freedom to you. Juggalo Ivanka Trump, like the Simpsons said? Maybe. Blue Crow, Vance Trump 2028, making VPs great again. That is an idea. Snooks, I'd vote for Eric or Don Jr. I think I would. It's hard to say. I'd like to see who's all running. They might come out with somebody we've never even seen yet, but Eric and Don Jr., we know they do all right. Josh 1776, unless Donald changes the law. Well, even if he tried to change the law, they wouldn't let him do it. They're not letting him do anything. Like I said, we got a story coming up where the judges are standing in the way of proving that you're a citizen when it comes time to vote. Like, why? The only reason you wouldn't want this is if you want illegals to vote. Hair Juicer, the updates aren't related to this. Maybe it has something to do with Rumble. What is her name? Zero said that if you're having issues with the Rumble player, to turn the quality down, and that it will help it stop skipping. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's Rumble that's causing that, because the website is not connected to the player at all. All right, hooligans, we'll get into this next one. Like I said, highway chase ends in illegal border crossers swimming back to Mexico. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you'd like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out, as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's get this pulled up here. And I did find the 2 funny videos of the day, and we are good to go, so don't you worry. Like I said, this is highway chase ends and illegal border crossers swimming back to Mexico. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already, and let's get into this.
Illegals were chased back into Mexico by Texas DPS troopers. The vehicle, containing a human smuggler and 7 other illegals, smashed into multiple cars while trying to escape custody. Eventually, the vehicle reached the Rio Grande River, and 2 illegal immigrants successfully swam back to Mexico. However, the human smuggler, who also jumped into the river, began drowning and was rescued by troopers. In total, 6 illegal immigrants were detained, including the human smuggler.
Okay, so we got the human trafficker, but a couple of them got away. I wonder how many times this actually happens. The news always wants to talk about President Trump. They don't ever want to talk about crime or anything. So I bet that this probably happens quite often. Do you see how quick they were to do that? They got out of the truck and were like, once we jump in the water, we'll be good. I think they've probably done this before. It's kind of ridiculous because we even own the land that is the islands in the river there. We covered a video I think it was last week, where it was saying that the cartel is staging little sheds and stuff on those islands to monitor border patrol and to make it easier for human trafficking and drug smuggling and all that kind of stuff. And so I bet these illegals jumping back in the water just to get back to Mexico and get out of our jurisdiction, I bet this happens a lot more than we think it does. Next up, we got Florida bill would let you shoot down surveillance drones. Now that sounds really nice, but I think it's going to be a while before they come to that conclusion. Either way, it's coming up next. First, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about these border crossers swimming back to Mexico. Hair juicer, just pull over. No. No, I heard they send you to Chicago. Oh fuck, drive. Yeah, exactly. They don't want to be detained by ICE. They don't want these problems. Yeah, Zero. Yeah, I know. Thank you for letting me know, and happy freedom to you, Zero. Josh 1776, we should just dump a bunch of baby gators into the river and pythons. So a lot of people that say that. I mean, I really think if Border Patrol wanted to, they could just pick these guys off. It'd be no big deal, but we're so soft-handed on criminals. Unless I do something wrong, then all of a sudden I'm the worst. I don't know why it's like that. Doesn't make any sense. Josh 1776, then I could get alligator skin boots and the alligators will be fed by illegals. It's a win-win, Josh. Metamouth, or you could fill the Rio Grande with piranhas. Don't you think that it would wash these creatures away because the current is so strong? What happened to the buoys? Did they really make how Greg Abbott pull the buoys out of the water? I know that he was fighting the Biden administration about that, but what happened to the buoys? They were claiming, Democrats were claiming that the illegals were dying every day because they couldn't swim past the buoys. And then they even said that Greg Abbott's Oh, what is I can't remember. I think it's National Guard. He sent National Guard out there, and they said, "Oh, the National Guard is shoving children back into the Rio Grande, hoping they drowned," and all this stuff. Free the Texan, they're still there. Maybe these guys got past without going near the buoys. Metamouth, I have a better idea. How about we fill the Rio Grande with crocodiles, piranhas, and pythons, and buoys? Do the whole thing. Stoner, I heard those island shacks are called love shacks because the cartel brings illegals through there. I'm sure they do. Island snacks. That sounds better. I think everybody's on the same page. We need to arm the Rio Grande. Free the Texan. I wouldn't save him. Human traffickers are dirt. Absolutely. If he was drowned, and how do they know? It might have said do not resuscitate. You don't know. He's undocumented. Should respect his wishes. Free the Texan. Let him drown. Yep. Free the Texan. 2-term president cannot be VP. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. Thank you for letting me know, Free the Texan. Screaming Eagle, Obama wasn't born in the U.S. He's Kenyan. Yeah, his birth certificate's fake. What's up, Hidu? Happy freedom to you. I'm excited to vote for Vance in 28. So a lot of people that are ready to vote for Vance. Vance has been doing good so far. I don't think there's anything he's done wrong. I don't even think he's been accused of doing anything wrong. Free the Texan, as long as the 35-year-old isn't a woke piece of shit, it would be something to have a 35-year-old president. What's up, Ghostly? Happy freedom. Snooks, I can't let someone drown, illegal or not. You must be a good swimmer, Snooks. Russell, alligators with laser beams on their head. That's right, Dr. Evil style. Meta, was the water full of waste and sewage? I don't think it's the Rio Grande that's getting the sewage water. It's some river between Tijuana and somewhere in California. But I don't think it's the Rio Grande. I don't think the Rio Grande's probably that clean, but the sewage water that we were covering, I don't think was the Rio Grande. What's up, Genetic? Happy freedom. Cartels are scum. Absolutely. Wigglytuff, detaining them and deporting them is actually humane. Other countries would just shoot on sight. Yeah, exactly. Wigglytuff, the cartels were drowning babies, not the National Guard or the U.S. Yeah, but the Democrats, you know how they are. Go out there and lie their little face off to all the Democratic voters, and then the Democratic voters just fall for it. They love getting duped. I think it's what causes the brain damage. What's up, MD Cyron? What's up, Snickle Fritz? Happy freedom. What's up, Noblest? What's up, Itchy? Happy freedom. Devin, I thought you said boobs. It is boobs. It's just boobs all the time. You got boobs on the brain? That happens. Russell, I'm a Vance supporter for 2028. Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of people who are ready to vote for Vance. What's up, Enter User? Happy freedom to you. Ghostly, the LA River? I am not sure. I'll have to go back and double check. Alright, hooligans. Like I said, we're going to get into this next one. This is Florida bill would let you shoot down surveillance drones. Like I said, this sounds good, but it doesn't seem like they are ready to actually do this. Wishful thinking, I suppose. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
A Florida bill is taking a stand against spy drones. If it's passed, homeowners will be able to use, quote, reasonable force to take down drones hovering over their private property. Let's bring in Brett Velikovich, Fox News contributor, drone expert, and former Army Special Operations soldier. So I guess the question is, Brett, in dealing with a drone that someone feels is invading their private property or invading their personal space, what constitutes, quote, reasonable force?
Well, that's difficult to tell. I think one of the larger problems, John, is that we currently can't even identify or classify properly what's in our airspace enough to understand what we even be shooting at, right? So if you spot a drone flying over your property, do you know if that drone is being flown by law enforcement? Is it China spying on us, or is it a threat from our adversaries, or is it just some clueless and careless kid flying in areas that they shouldn't be? You know, the FAA right now, they've been working on a system called remote ID to require anyone flying a drone to have electronic trackers similar to what planes have, but they've taken countless years and endless amounts of taxpayer money to get this done. And really the FAA is to blame here for why state lawmakers, states like Florida, have to take this on, because they simply haven't done a good job of helping the public identify and classify what's flying above this. You know, when you look at the sky and you see a plane, you don't immediately think that's a threat. You trust, if it's flying over you, that it's allowed to be there. But we can't trust right now that that drone is flying over our backyard and spying on us. It could be spying on us. And the fact is, civilians taking matters into their own hands and shooting down a drone flying over top of them, no matter what it's doing, is currently a federal crime. And we've seen many situations where people have been arrested for shooting down drones. Last year, a Florida man, for instance, was arrested for shooting down a Walmart delivery drone in his neighborhood. Another man in Long Island, he shot down a drone that was being used for search and rescue operations. So this is an issue we need to take seriously, and the federal laws need to change fast to adapt to this modern technology.
Yeah, we just have a few seconds left here, but there does seem to be a looming battle between the state of Florida and the FAA. Here's what the FAA said. It's illegal, as you pointed out, under federal law to shoot at an aircraft. A private citizen shooting at any aircraft, including unmanned aircraft, poses a significant safety hazard. Not to mention the fact that what goes up must come down. And if somebody shoots at a drone, eventually the bullet's going to come down somewhere. And there's plenty of incidents in this country's history of people being killed by bullets falling out of the sky.
You're exactly right. But look, there are more registered drones in the U.S. than there are commercial fixed wing aircraft, hundreds of thousands of them. Yet we've put very little government resources to properly regulate that. We've got very basic and archaic laws in place. So I don't blame private, owners of property to want to know what's flying above them and take matters into their own hands. We've just got to identify what's up there better. And maybe we need to start using more electronic warfare systems to identify and stop these drones before they're a real threat.
All right, we will see where this Florida law goes. Thank you for breaking it down for us, Brett. Appreciate it.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee.
Okay. Like I said, kind of wishful thinking there. They're not really prepared for people to actually shoot down drones. They're just kind of saying this stuff. What is really interesting is there's a lot of images like this where they're making claims that this is anti-drone weaponry that they've put out because of Pope Francis kicking the bucket there. It says Italian special forces have deployed drone-killing weapons to protect world leaders attending the Pope's funeral. Now, they look like a bunch of Ghostbusters out there, in my opinion. I ain't scared of no ghost. But anyways, in Florida, they want to do things the old school way. You just go out there and hit it with the 12 gauge, and if it moves, you hit it again. That's, that's just how you get things done around here. Now, in some ways, it feels like that's a good idea because then you can protect your own property, which is what most people want to do. But in other instances, you got a bunch of yahoos out there who don't have 2 cents inside their heads, so they might be shooting at it with 9mm or something like that, and then you have live rounds coming down, raining down on your house because the neighbor thinks he sees a drone, but really he's high on meth shooting at crows. You never know. You never know. So, like I said, they're not really ready to do this. They're saying that the FAA is wasting their time instead of developing a system to identify drones, so then you don't even know if the drone's a threat or not. Same thing as if you shoot it down. If you shoot it down and authorities show up, they can't even identify the drone unless it's one of theirs, and then you're in big trouble. So it's too messy right now for them to actually give you the go-ahead to shoot down drones. Now, I wonder if you do other things besides actually destroy the drone. Like, what if you caught it with a net? What if you threw a blanket over it? What if you, threw a magnet that was strong enough to grab it out of the air? Those kind of things. Would it still count? Would you be in trouble for downing a drone if you didn't destroy it? I don't know. I was sitting there thinking that when I saw that video, adding it to the schedule there. Next up, we got John Kennedy. It's titled Utter Nutters, Senator Kennedy on what AOC and the left have become. They're going to be discussing if AOC was to run for president and stuff like that. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Florida trying to pass a bill that would let you shoot down surveillance drones. Here, Juicer, can I shoot down my own drone on my property? I don't know. Because there's crimes against like shooting certain things. And I want to say I looked into if you were to shoot your own car, like say you had a scrap vehicle or whatever in the backyard, and if you were to shoot it, I think you can actually get in trouble for it. And so it makes me think that you could probably get in trouble for shooting your own aircraft down, because that's what they're considered, is an aircraft. You would be downing an aircraft, and so they might try and give you trouble. That's how you know we got too much government. You can't even shoot down your own drones, you know. But I don't know. We'd have to look it up. Zero, there's planes flying at 40,000 feet spying on us and recording our phone calls and messages. Well, I hope they like what I'm laying down. It's always good stuff. They should see my search history. Russell, that's it. I'm putting a 50 cal machine gun mount on my Jeep. That's right, Russell. The drone killer. Shroomish negligent discharge is what they'd probably charge you with for downing your own drone. Could be. What's up, D-Cat? Happy freedom to you. Stoner, thinking about adding speed holes to the Subaru? No, I just want to put the transmission out of its misery. It needs it. They want like $2,500 to replace the transmission. I thought about just buying another Subaru, but then they want $6,000 for that. So it's like, I don't know exactly what I'm supposed to do. Use the Lamborghinis. Use my Subarus. Thank you, Pumpkin. I appreciate you. Ghostly, shooting a drone on your own property with a paintball gun, then claiming you were just playing paintball on your own property is 100% legal. That's right. That's right. Totally Carey got to practice bolo throwing. That's an idea right there. What would they even charge you with? You're like, I was just in the backyard practicing my hobby and this drone got in the way. Ghostly, the net tangles the blades in the drone. Of the drone, very low tech. Yeah, that's what I mean. You just scoop a drone out the sky with a fishing net, you'd be good to go. Stoner, they're trying to catch the Pope's ghost. Is that what it is? I was trying to figure it out. I was like, look at these anti-drone weapons. These guys look like something out of Halo. Ghostly shoots nets. Oh, that's interesting. I wasn't sure what it was. Apparently we have anti-drone weapons on our ships that go out to sea. I don't know what they do. Some people say they shoot lasers. That's why they created the direct energy weapons, is to be able to take out drones and stuff like that. It's interesting because here in America they say that the direct energy weapons don't exist, and then we turn around and covered a story how Europe was displaying and showing off the direct energy weapons that they put on their warships. Enter user, I saw on Mythbusters where the bullets can't really hurt you when they're coming down. Really? I don't know. I've seen roofing videos where people are redoing the roofs of, someone's house or whatever, and they're finding bullets in the roof, and they're embedded. I don't know. I think it's probably situational, I would think. Free the Texan looks like some sort of EMP gun. That's what I was thinking too. What's up, AR-16? Happy freedom to you, if I can get you all ready. Elisa, a little scary letting people shoot drones. Hopefully they can shoot well. They could come back down into your house. Yeah. Pumpkin, the Pope's getting chewed out by God. Oh, I think one day we'll all have to take turns getting our ass chewed out by God. I don't think there's any way around it. Zero. Hang a target from the drone. You were just shooting at the target and missed. I mean, yeah, if you wanted to down your own drone. Meta target practice. Yeah, better than clay pigeons. How about a wrist rocket? Down it with a marble or a rock. That's an idea. I don't really know what that stuff's classified as. Every once in a while, locals here will get in trouble for using slingshots and vandalizing people's property and stuff. People get bored in the summer. What's up, Drina? Happy freedom to you. Meta boomerang or Master Meatball boomerang attack. Yeah, what could they get you with? I was just playing with the boomerang. It just happened to knock this metal bird out of the sky. I didn't know. Happy freedom to you, Master Meatball. A drone dogfight. That would be something. What's up, Tactical? Happy freedom. A blow dart? That'd have to be a hell of a blow dart. Take out a drone. Noblest jammers can be found here. Yeah, that would probably work too. Drones function off of sensors and GPS location. And I mean, you know, they've become advanced over the last couple of years, but it used to not take a whole lot of anything. Just raining outside used to down a drone just because it would interfere with the sensors and the drone wouldn't be able to tell where the ground is. So if it can't sense the ground, it doesn't know how high off the ground it is. And sometimes it would cause your drone to just kind of crash into the ground because it can't detect it and cause problems like that. Now, like I said, the technology's become more advanced over the last couple of years, so maybe they're smarter than that. But the older drones, it didn't take a whole lot to down them. What's up, Shenanigans? Happy freedom. Devin the Red Rider BB gun. That's right. You're either going to down the drone or you're going to shoot your eye out. What's up, Visions? Happy freedom. What's up, DP? Harpoon nets? That's right. That's how you get them. Looking for that white whale and caught a drone instead. Mills, if the drone is close enough to hit it with a water hose and you hit it, that's on them. Yeah, just watering the flowers. Caught the drone. Whoops. Pick me a whole bouquet of whoopsie daisies. What's up, Lion's Heart? Happy freedom to you. Josh M76, just use a laser and fry its camera. Yeah. Yep. We played a video the other day. It was talking about that. It was it might have been a little while ago now that I'm thinking about it. I showed you guys a drone video. It was at a music festival. And the lasers on the stage hit the camera and it blew the pixels in the camera. So yeah, if you had a laser that was strong enough, you'd be able to down a drone. Ghostly or bird shot, yeah. Ghostly radio waves and cook the drone range pretty easily. Yeah, but what do you have that puts out radio waves? Meta a flamethrower. I'm glad we're getting creative here. Master Meatball, a CO2 blow dart. Yeah, that'd probably work. All right, hooligans. Let's get into this next one. Like I said, we got Senator John Kennedy. He's talking about what it would be like if AOC ran for president. It's titled Utter Nutters, Senator Kennedy on what AOC and the left have become. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick. If you'd like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live, so definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Let's get this pulled up. Like I said, we got John Kennedy here. Now, they are going to be mentioning something I have never heard of, and maybe you guys know what this is. It's obviously a ripoff of Dark MAGA, but they're talking about something called Dark Woke. And I don't know what Dark Woke even looks like, because all the woke people are a bunch of degenerates, right? They cut their wieners off, they hurt their kids, they smoke meth and fentanyl. they're just lowlifes. They're the scum of the earth. So what the hell is dark woke? Is that where they skin their face, or like what exactly happens? They don't explain it in this video, but I was just curious if you guys know. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get into this.
Here now with reaction, Louisiana Senator John Kennedy. Senator, thank you so much for joining us. What comes to mind, what comes to the stomach when you think of AOC running for President of the United States of America?
Well, let me address first your question about dark woke. I think the Democrats are trying to appear more manly. Just a thought, but they may want to consider first getting rid of their man purses and their organic broccoli. Dark woke, light woke, mellow yellow woke, it's still woke. And that's the Democrats' problem. If you believe the polls, Jason, most Americans believe that Republicans aren't perfect, but they think the other side's crazy. They think that Democrats, like Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, have chosen to become what my son would call utter nutters. I mean, you think about it, and think about what the Congresswoman stands for. If you're a Democrat in today's Democratic Party, you're not allowed to fire bad employees, to fire bad teachers. You're not allowed to cut wasteful spending. You're not allowed to deport illegal immigrants. You're not allowed to oppose MS-13. You're not allowed to like cops. You're not allowed to prosecute thieves who steal less than $950. You're not allowed to question vaccines. You're not allowed to oppose sex change operations for minors. Or transgender people in women's bathrooms or playing women's sports. You're not allowed to oppose critical race theory in our schools. You're not allowed to oppose reading porn to grade schoolers. You're not allowed to oppose racial quotas. But you are required to use certain pronouns and to believe that men can breastfeed. Now, I don't think I'm being unfair. This is what Democrats and Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez now believe. And a charitable interpretation for this kind of behavior does not exist. And the American people look at it and they just want to jump out of a moving car. And that's why Democrats are polling right up there with scalp psoriasis. In terms of the Congresswoman, look, I encourage her to run. I hope she does run. I understand. I listened to her speech. I understand her slogan is going to be "Change begins with a mustard seed," which I think is interesting. I guess if Governor Pritzker runs, his slogan will be "You can have a tummy and still be yummy." I don't know. I just think with the Congresswoman, if you scratch the surface, you get more surface. I don't think she has the intellectual firepower to run a campaign or to be president, but I hope she does.
Yeah, it's interesting with Donald Trump. I don't think the Democrats ever took the time or had the inclination or even the ability or aptitude to understand Donald Trump and his appeal to the American people. I think authenticity wins elections and it wins hearts and minds, and Donald Trump has that top to bottom. It's authentic. And this dark woke is really interesting. You know, Donald Trump took this lane called common sense, and that meant that the Democrats, being anti-Trump, had to go the opposite of everything that is common sense. I mean, that's where I read it. Am I wrong on that?
No, I think Trump beat Harris because Trump represented hope and Harris represented more hurt. But I do think that what the American people trusted Trump most on was the economy. Inflation. I mean, inflation was man-made, and that man's name was Joe Biden, and it gutted people like a fish. And when moms and dads lie down to sleep at night, Jason and Kent, they're worried about the economy. They're worried about the high prices. That's why we've got to pass the reconciliation bill. That's our plan to deal with lowering these prices.
No, that is the key. It is a team sport, particularly in the House, and it'll be fascinating to see. But that Trump agenda and that one big, beautiful bill, we're counting on you and a whole lot of others to make it happen. Senator Kennedy, thank you for joining us. You're one of our favorites. We do appreciate it. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Well, like I said, John Kennedy there just smoking the left. He don't do drugs, but he smokes the left. You know, it happens. I still don't understand what dark woke is. They already smell bad. They're already the worst of the worst. Like, what is dark woke? The regular woke already do self-immolation. So, like, what is dark woke? I just don't get it. Kamikazes? I don't know. That's the first time I ever heard it. Glad Senator John Kennedy was there. He's hilarious. Next up, we got Trump directs DOJ to probe Democrats' top fundraising platform. They're talking about Act Blue. They found a lot of suspicious activity. It kind of reminds me of how the 2020 election went. Either way, all of that's coming up next. First, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Senator John Kennedy talking crap about the left and smoking AOC. Matt Rogers, man purse, man bun, and the skinny jeans. Yep, it's only the left rocking that. What's up, guess happy freedom to you. Russell, AOC's crazier than a shithouse rat. Yeah, she's a lunatic. It'll be hilarious watching her try and run. The thing is it'll probably be super Kamehameha fake, just like Hyena Harris, right? Remember how that went? Hyena Harris was high in the polls. She had a full arena at the DNC. People loved her. She was so great. Full rallies all the damn time. And it was all fake. All of it was fake. And we knew it was fake. There was people tracking venue goers that were being bussed in. Pretty much every rally had the same people. There was like 8,000 people were being bussed in to every single rally to make it look that way. They even used AI to forge some of the images and stuff. There was a lot of people who would show an image of like Harris getting off the plane and there's all this huge crowd in front, but then the reflection on the plane just shows two guys standing in the parking lot. The whole crowd was just faked into the image. And they'll probably do the same thing for AOC. They'll make it look like she's winning. She's got favor with the people. They'll probably have Beyonce come out again. They have Cardi B out there twerking with Megan Thee Stallion and all that. I'm sure they'll do that again. Why wouldn't they? They thought it was working the first time, and these guys, they don't learn. They're still pushing this evil agenda. So like I said, it'll be interesting and it'll be humorous to watch her think she's winning. But to the normies, they might actually believe she is. I'm really interested to see who's going to run for Republican. We assume J.D. Vance is going to be one of them, but it'll be interesting to see if Don Jr. or Eric run. That would be interesting. I'm also interested to see who may surprise us getting into the campaign. Now we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. We still got midterms coming up. We got like 14 months or something like that until midterms. I don't even know who's running the midterms, but I know that we need to get rid of these Democrats in our states, because not only is the judges staying in the way of the Trump agenda, but we have governors that are not complying with federal law, right? We have mayors and stuff that are not complying with federal law. They want to run these sanctuary cities and stuff like that. And we got to vote these people out. We got to. We went out there and we voted for President Trump. We made it happen. We got to do the same thing. We have to continue fixing our country, and sitting on our ass thinking that Trump's going to do it all by himself just isn't going to win the race. We got to go out there and vote for mayors and governors and people like that. They're going to push our agenda. We the people, right? So we got to keep that in mind because it's coming up. Russ, I'm running to the store in 2028. That's right. Get some you're going to run in 2028? You're going to run against me, get some? Why would you do that? No matter what, a hooligan's going to win. We should all run for president in 2028. Just cement in that we got a hooligan president. It'll be good stuff. Russ, I love John Kennedy. He's so funny. I feel the same way. John Kennedy is awesome. Pumpkin, Dark Woke was Dark Brandon, I think. I remember the Dark Brandon memes, but this is my first time hearing Dark Woke. Hidu, this guy's a frickin' treasure. Yeah, John Kennedy is so awesome. Stoner, more like Dark Broke. That's right. They're in debt. And we took away their USAID that they were doing money laundering and wasting our tax dollars on. AR-16, the mellow yellow woke. Yeah, that's about as dark as they're getting. Tiger Jaw, happy freedom to you. You mean her change doesn't begin with cow farts? That'd be a hell of a slogan. They like to huff cow farts. That's their dirty little secret. Klaus Daniels waking up from a nap. Totally care. AOC is a scary threat. She doesn't know how. She doesn't know she's stupid. Yeah, it is a threat of sorts, but she can't do it on her own. She's going to have the lying government behind her. That'll be the real scary thing. Screaming Eagle, AOC is secretly in love with Alex Stein. I believe it. Stoner, AOC has the hots for Elon. What a slut. I thought she liked Alex Stein. Dang, this is the very next comment. It's after Elon. Holy, she can't make her mind up. Stoner, her husband would watch. She has a husband? She seems like the kind of woman to have a wife. AR-16, AOC's got donkey teeth. That wasn't even asked. Just providing extra information. AOC. I don't know. Is that really going to be the face of the Democrat Party? Pumpkin, Senator Kennedy is a sweetheart. He's a badass. Got some can't breastfeed, but I can motorboat. That's right. Facts. Yeah, Stoner, you're not wrong. For the Texan. You think she's going to resort to explicit content after her political career fizzles out? It's always on the table. What's up, Nishada? Happy freedom. Probably a spinoff of Dark Brandon. It can't be anything original. Yeah, Nishada, all they do is copy what the right does. Like Hyena Harris saying, yeah, no tax on tips, right after President Trump started saying it. That's when we knew she wasn't going to win. What's up, Debo? Happy freedom to you. That sounds like Jeff has a hairball. I wish. I wish I had things like that going on in my life, but I don't. Era 16, the Hooligan Party. That's right. Klaus Daniels walking back into the room. He ain't got enough patience for this. He's got to wake up a little bit. Totally care. Her battery-operated husband. That sounds about right. And her user, didn't AOC marry her campaign manager? I don't know. I don't know. I didn't even know she was married until 10 minutes ago. Not even 5 minutes ago, maybe. Guess I should run as a Democrat. That way, when I win, I ain't got to do shit. There you go. And we still got a hooligan in office, so I think it's a win-win. Stoner, some soy boy looking guy? That figures. Metal Mouth, no tax on tits? I'm down for that. We're waiting on it. We're waiting on the legislation. What's up, Tory Wayne? Happy freedom to you. Hair Juicer, RNC asked me to run against Sorensen It'd be awesome to win, but it would suck to be in Congress. I don't want to have to go to D.C. 20 times a year. I'd legally change my name just for the lulz. Representative 3000 has the floor. It'd be so badass, Hair Juicer. We'd cover you every time you go live. There's Hair Juicer. We illegally voted for him. We went to his state and voted for him. Zero, you'd have to tell him the poodle story. Holy, if you hooligans don't have a membership to the website, I'm telling you, you're missing out. Tori Wayne, did you say hairballs or hairy balls? I got one and not the other. I don't have the fun stuff. Snooks, pet the bush, you hooligans. It is Friday. Pumpkin, if you were, let's see, if I were president, y'all could live in the White House. Holy, they thought it was bad having the Bidens there. Imagine having the hooligans there. They'd rethink all of that. Meta, if it ever comes down to fighting ASI robots, I'll be using a chainsaw and a flamethrower. I think you're going to win, Meta. I'm just going to stick magnets to their head. I got so much speakers and stuff, I'd just be taking that stuff apart. Master Meatball smoking the left. No high, only hangover. That's right. We should make t-shirts. That sounds awesome. Let me see. I'm actually going to see if Alistair can do something with that. Poor Alistair, locked in my basement. Just drop notes. Keep production going, Alistair. He works his ass off. Shenanigans, P. Diddy, Gary Busey, 2028. No, we don't want that. What's up, Agent O? Happy freedom to you. Dark Maga was first. Yeah, I don't even know what dark woke means. It sounds like you need an antibiotic to clean it up, you know? DP, they meant to say dark money? Yeah, that could be. Richard, happy freedom to you. It says AOC looks like she could eat corn on the cob through a chain link fence. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. When AOC's running, we're going to call her the screaming goat. That's what's going to happen. Mills got a stink bug on a string for Klaus. I mean, that's some motivation. I never even thought about that. What's up, Buckeye? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Wayward? Happy freedom to you. Trump's 100% hooligan. He is. I really wish he wore like t-shirts and stuff. He only wears collared shirts or suits. We got to get him a collared hooligan shirt. We got to figure out how to send it to him. Guess I'm the press secretary will be a midget who can't see over the podium. That's right. Make America funny as hell again. That's right. Guess some. I love that. Well, hooligans, we're going to move forward here. Like I said, Trump directs DOJ to probe Democrats' top fundraising platform. Democrats love getting probed. They will hold it open for you. Talking about Act Blue here. And this is going to be like kicking the USAID all over again. They are not going to like this. I already know that. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube. And let's get into this.
Meanwhile, President Trump is directing the Justice Department to investigate Act Blue. This is a Democratic donation platform, and the focus as the allegations about illegal straw donors and foreign contributions. Mark Meredith is live in Washington with more. This has been brewing for a while, Mark. What do we need to know?
Dana, for years, you're right about this, but this is a big development. The White House is directing the Attorney General to investigate the Democratic Party's top fundraising platform. It's called Act Blue, and the president says he wants to know if foreign money is being donated to the group and then utilized to sway elections. Democrats are calling this probe a dangerous abuse of power. Act Blue is an enormous operation in Democratic politics. It's raised more than $16 billion since 2004. You may have seen the text pop up from candidates saying, please donate, go to the Act Blue website. Republicans use something similar called Win Red. There was a new memo signed on Thursday directing the Attorney General to investigate if foreign nationals are using the Act Blue platform to bypass campaign finance laws. Trump wants a report out in 6 months. Republicans who've been looking to this for years up on the Hill say a formal federal investigation is long overdue.
We know nefarious countries that don't have the United States interests at heart are looking for ways to influence and impact U.S. policy. making sure that we're closing the door to that as it relates to campaign finance and as it relates to actually voting in U.S. elections is absolutely essential.
Act Blue says it's ready to defend itself, including through the courts. Overnight, the new chairman of the Democratic National Committee released a blistering statement accusing Trump of trying to silence his opposition. Ken Mort writing, Trump is trying to block lawful grassroots donations from supporters giving just $5 or $10 to candidates who oppose him, while further empowering the corrupt billionaires who already control his administration. And Danny, you'll love this. This controversy could end up helping Act Blue, at least in the short term. The website is now raising money off the investigation, encouraging people to donate to Act Blue, mentioning it's a Trump target. It's right there on their front page.
Yeah, probably nothing better than to fuel those donations for the moment. Thank you.
Yeah. Kevin McCarthy, former Speaker of the House.
Okay, let me see here. Nope, we're actually going to run a little bit. I had 2 different timestamps. Not done yet.
Joins us now. Good morning to you. Axios reports that there were 3 Republican-led committees that found 22 cases of significant fraud in Act Blue. When you were in Congress, were you aware of this? And if so, what are the details?
Well, what you found out was there's suspicious patterns. And remember, this is probably the largest platform, and they do more than just Democrat donations within there. But what we found is that there are elderly names, meaning people who are deceased that are still giving. They have people listed that have given 10,000 times in a year. When contacted, one man in Maryland said he gave 3,000 times on Act Blue, but he said he only gave a couple times. It had some people who were low income that didn't have much money, had them listed as like super donors, giving thousands of dollars. When contacted by one woman, she gave 1 time. And this is the way that if you steal names, it's a way for foreign entities to influence elections. So these suspicious patterns where someone's giving 10,000 times or somebody has deceased names, that should be investigated, and there should be no problem with this investigation.
Do you have any concerns that it seems political and that if and when...
All right. So anyways, Act Blue, like I said, there's a lot of symptoms there that feels like the 2020 election. They got people that don't have any money who are supposedly donating. They got people who say they've made a single donation, but it says they've made 10,000 donations. That's a lot of different donations. Even if that was $1 hair per donation, that is a lot of transactions going on. Now, it seems pretty unbelievable that that's how things are going. I'm pretty surprised that they're even got an investigation going. Hopefully we can get a follow-up on this, and hopefully they can dismantle it like they did the USAID. Who knows? Who knows? Now, they go on to say in that video, and a lot of it's redundant and kind of redirecting of conversation, but they say, like, what would happen if they did an audit for Win Red, I think it's called, and that's Republicans' version of Act Blue. And like I said, they redirect the conversation, but I think they should audit both. Why not? Like, why not? If they're not doing anything wrong, just like I said, just like the 2020 election, if nothing was done wrong, why not audit both? Let's just see how it all went down. Is anybody receiving money from foreign influences? Is the money, being laundered through these donation platforms? We want to know this kind of stuff. So either way, hopefully we'll have a follow-up on this. Next up, federal judge rules on Trump's citizenship proof order for voting. Now they're standing in the way of this again, and it's really stupid, just like the mass deportations and dudes and women's sports and everything else. It's just people constantly standing in the way of this. That's why we got to be ready to vote in the midterms and get rid of these blue people we still have kind of lingering around. Either way, it's coming up next. First, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about the DOJ doing an investigation on Act Blue. Guess I did a transfer to Act Blue from my bank, but it was a sperm bank. I stuck it to him. Yes, guys. You should look at what I posted on Hooligans Alley there. Snook sent me some news that I couldn't exactly share with everybody, but apparently they got sperm racing happening. You should get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. That way you can watch news that we can't cover on the live, as well as joining us in the voice chat Fridays right after Coffee with Hooligans. So definitely go get yourself a membership over on the website. Russell, I say audit them all. Yeah, might as well. Everything else is corrupt. You see how quick they stopped talking about the Social Security stuff? They were claiming that there was millions of Social Security numbers being used fraudulently. The Democrats never denied it. They just bitched about it. And then they turned around and implemented a multi-billion-dollar security system for anti-fraud for Social Security and all of that stuff. And then they just stopped talking about it. I'm sure the Democrats will come out. They'll have another rally saying, oh, Trump's going to take away your Social Security and Medicaid, and it'll get brought back up. But right now it's real quiet. Here, Juicer, I don't know if you can gamble on it. I put the video in Hooligans Alley in the news group. Zero, you see another judge was arrested today. She walked out the back door. The FO phase isn't so fun for them. Yeah, we got that video coming up. Stoner Poodle Story is that like the crappy books? No. It's not like Cappy. It's something else. Hair Juicer's full of stories. Screaming Eagle AOC has a pimp. She wants to pimp on a blimp. I still don't know exactly what that is. I gotta Google it. I keep forgetting. Let me just write a tab. Look up pimp on a blimp. So I can understand the damn reference. Ghostly, dark woke is just code for butt stuff. I think you're right. Metamouth, if I ran for president, my theme song would be Don't Tread on Me by Metallica. That's interesting. I never even thought about what the introduction music would be if I ran for president. That's an interesting idea. Pumpkin, it's about time that Act Blue is investigated. It's badly corrupted. Yeah, I think so too. I hope they actually do the investigation and not just make claims that they're going to. I hope they actually do it because I would like to see what the outcome is. Stoner, I'd go with Guar. Sick of You. There you go. Well, thanks for hitting the like button. Noblest. Appreciate you stopping in to Rumble. AR-16, you do Zeppelin. What is or what should never be. See, I've never even heard half of these songs. What's up, Mary Todd? Happy freedom to you. Guess Mac Blue and the Clinton Foundation work together? Yeah, they should investigate the Clinton Foundation. For the Texan, the term dark woke refers to an online meme that gained popularity in January amid President Trump's inauguration. Under the dark woke tag, left-leaning X users share jokes. Interesting. Thank you for looking that up, Free Thinking Texan. Stoner, January, weren't they all chased off to Blue Sky? I thought so. What happened to Blue Sky? We used to hear about that all the time, and now it's been a long time since I've heard about Blue Sky. It was like that with Threads, too. I think that's Meta's version of Twitter is Threads. Is those platforms still around? Told to carry anything that Hillary touches should be looked into? I agree. MetaMouse, shut it down. That's right. Pumpkin, sounds good to me. Do both. Yeah. Can't be one-sided. It's all government, right? So we got to make sure that everybody's playing ball fair. Let's go, Brandon. Happy freedom to you. It's messed up that Act Blue money laundering has been known about since 2020, and 5 years later, they decide to investigate. Yeah. Well, that's how I feel about the Epstein files. They've known about this shit for years, and they still haven't released anything or arrested anybody. Pumpkin, the Dems do nothing that is good for us since they hate us. Absolutely. They focus on death. For the Texan, my president song would be America by Team America Movie. Ah, that's a good one for the Texan. Let me see. We got it over here. Yeah, that'd be a badass presidential song. Metamouth, I think Blue Sky evaporated. Did they arrest all the pedophiles or what? Guess my theme song would be Mongolian throat singing. Hell yeah, that'd be badass. I don't know if anybody else knows what that is, but yeah, that'd be badass. Snooks, no comment. I can't comment on that. J Spray, Dio, Run for the Hills. I've never heard of Dio. Zero, I'd pick Yellow O, yeah. I've never heard of that either. You guys got a whole list of songs here. I will check it out, Meta. Did you just send it? Oh, it's yesterday? Today's Monday. Monday I'll go to the post office and check for it. Thank you for everything, Meta. What's up, Biking Cat? Happy freedom. What's up, Sky Leon? Happy freedom to you. Biking Cat, right at 4 million Social Security numbers handed out, and 1.25 million of those numbers are pulling big-time benefits from Medicare, Medicaid, big-time benefits over 25,000. So 1.25 million times 25,000 is 31.25 billion doll hairs. Yeah, Biking Cat, you are right. That's why they don't want to talk about the Social Security stuff. I'm surprised that the medical stuff's been in the news. We covered a video a couple days ago. Texas found out that they have like $1 billion in medical bills from treating illegals, and it's money that they're not going to get back. I think Snook sent me a story yesterday that was another state coming to the same conclusion. I don't know if it's like a report that comes out quarterly or what it is, but states are now waking up, realizing that they have handed over millions of dollars in medical treatment towards illegals, and nobody's going to pay those bills. It's going to be us. It's going to be our taxes going towards it and stuff like that. So it's not good. We got to get those illegals out of here. My YouTube chat just jumped. I'm trying to figure out where I was. What's up, Mary Beth? Happy freedom to you. David, so if laws have been broken, bring charges and put the money where your mouth is. I want these people in prison. Accountability is a must. Absolutely, David. We need it. What's up, Scott Johnson? Happy freedom. Tactical 5-finger death punch. No one gets left behind for the theme song. That's a good idea. Tactical or Run for the Hills by Iron Maiden. What's up, Salty Squirrel? Happy freedom to you. DP, Ronnie James, D.O. All the Fools Sailed Away. I need to Google all these songs. I've never heard of half of this stuff. You guys would be having fantastic theme songs. Wayward, or did they do something else with the money and using illegals to take the blame? That's an interesting idea. That is very interesting. What if these states are misusing money and they're claiming that the money went towards medical treatment for illegals? What do you think they were using the money on? Rigging the election? Paying governors money that, shouldn't be paid? Things like that? Wayward, you'd play Wayward Son? There you go, that's an idea. I actually know that song. Thanks to watching Supernatural over and over again for years. Russell, I need a beer. I need a beer too. Snooks, Rainbow in the Sky by Dio. I've never heard of Dio. I'm going to have to Google them. What's up, Roy? Happy freedom to you. Oh, Roy, you put it in the comments. The funny videos get put in either Discord in the funny video tab or on the website. We have a short funny video tab as well. But I'll definitely check it out. Thank you for letting me know, Roy. Metal Mouth, I hope like hell you've heard Metallica. Don't Tread on Me is one of their best songs. I probably have heard it, Metal Mouth. I don't know Metallica or Guns N' Roses or any of those kind of people. But anytime I hear their songs, I know the songs. From either being at the local bars, because everybody here listens to that kind of music, or watching movies. You see a lot of this music in movies. But I just don't know the titles right offhand. But a lot of these songs I have heard before. And our user Leonard Skinner, Red, White, and Blue Music. It will bring a tear to your eye. See, I should be writing these names down so I could check it out. Plus, we could play it during the voice chat we got coming up next. Hair Juicer Dio was in Black Sabbath for a couple albums. Oh, I see. Josh 1776, Ligma by Imagine Dragons. All right, hooligans. We're going to get into this next one. Like I said, federal judge rules on Trump's citizenship proof, ordering for voting. So I don't know why they worded it like that, but either way, the judge doesn't want it to be, so you have to prove citizenship in order to vote, which is bullshit. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube. And let's get into this.
To wait and see. And Nate, a federal judge has made a ruling on an executive order signed by President Trump requiring proof of citizenship or order to vote. What was the decision?
Well, the decision here is blocking part of it. It sides with some Democratic groups who'd argued that you cannot ask people to prove, it's an undue burden to ask people to prove their citizenship when registering to vote. The judge siding with Democrats in that case, the Democratic plaintiffs in that case, saying that this is an issue that has to be either legislated by individual states or by the Congress, so blocking that part of the decision for now. But to be clear, this does not go as far as it could have gone. What this decision does is it leaves in place the Trump administration's ability to try and reference voter rolls in individual states with the Department of Homeland Security and the Department of Government Efficiency to take that data and try and determine people's citizenship status, make sure that everyone who is receiving the right to vote is in fact a citizen. So this case continues to play out in court. There's a number of states, including Colorado, where the Attorney General has sued the Trump administration to block it as well. So again, still not clear if there could be further blocks in this case, but a federal judge appointed by Bill Clinton putting that first block, saying that they cannot ask people their citizenship when registering to vote. Again, a decision that has to be made by Congress or individual states.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Nate Reed.
Well, it sounds like Congress needs to get on it. It's so stupid. Like, we shouldn't even have to pass laws like this. Why would we want anyone that is not an American citizen to vote in our elections? Why would we want that? It should already be that way. This should be very easy. They should be like, yeah, this totally makes sense. Okay, let it go. But the corruption, they love corruption. Anybody who goes against this should be investigated. I mean, it should be that simple. That we want American citizens to vote in our elections and no one else. And that makes sense. So why would anyone oppose it unless they want corruption? If they're in favor of corruption, they should be investigated. It's very simple. It's very simple. I don't know. Like, if you were running a business and you're like, we don't want people to be stealing from the till, so we're going to put cameras inside, and someone goes, no, we don't need cameras inside the building. That's invading the privacy of the person working the register. No, you'd be like, fuck you, buddy. Like, I want to keep the money safe. Like, that's the whole point here. So we want fair, transparent, safe elections, and they want to stand in the way of that. They should just be investigated. And then they say it's a Bill Clinton appointed judge or whatever. That guy should just be investigated just because of that. Bill Clinton called him. He's like, hey, man. He's like, unless you want to be in a dress on the island, you better go ahead and stand against this Trump agenda here. Stupid. So stupid. They should investigate this guy. Either way, next up, we got Luigi Manion pleads not guilty to federal charges in CEO killing. This is obviously the assassin who smoked that healthcare CEO. Now, the company, I can't remember what the company is called, but they were being investigated by the DOJ, I think, because of some sort of stock trading stuff that was going on, something along those lines. They don't talk about that anymore. They only talk about the assassin. And he's kind of a weird story because some people think that he's not the shooter. They think that if the eyebrows don't match, then you can't convict him. But when he was found at McDonald's, he had the 3D printed firearm on him days later, which doesn't make any sense, but that's supposedly what happened. Then later on, when he was let out of one of the police cruisers on his way to court, he had said that he wasn't the shooter. He said something along those lines before they told him to shut up, slammed him against the wall, and then took him inside the building. So this is a follow-up, obviously, because we've been covering this. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what your hooligans think about this federal judge standing in the way of having to prove you're a citizen of America when registering to vote. I don't know what you hooligans talk about on the website. Nobilis, races for not letting non-citizens vote in your presidential election, but what other countries allow that, but they're not racist? This is idiotic. People are so fucking stupid. Yeah, Nobilist. I forgot about that. They said voter ID is racist. Yeah, it's dumb. Calling people racist, calling people Nazis to get what you want is low life stuff. That's stuff we used to do in elementary school. I don't know why we still have adults like doing that. What's up, High Plains Drifter? Happy freedom to you. Hey, I appreciate you sticking with us over here on Rumble, Nobilis. Metal Mouth, that's why it's being blocked, a Democrat judge. Yep, same people who are standing in the way of the mass deportations. They want the illegals to be here. They do not want proof of citizenship when it comes to voting. It's weird how that works. Mary Todd washing that money. Yep. Mary Todd, you own all of Supernatural? I got it on my wish list. I want to own it because I think it's about to be removed from Netflix. What's up, Information Warlord? Happy freedom to you. Happy activist judges getting arrested freedom. Yeah, Information Warlord. Now, the two judges that are being arrested in the story we're going to be covering pretty soon, they're not, I mean, they kind of are activist judges. They're not the ones that are standing in the way of the Trump agenda, but they are the ones who sympathize with foreign gang terrorists. Elisa, they're still doing it because they're not adults. You're right, Elisa. They're just grown-ass children. That's why they think they want to be socialists when they're in their 20s, and then they're trying to be communists when they're in their 30s. It's because children are socialists by nature. They don't earn anything, right? They're children. You just give them whatever they want, in most cases. They're hungry, you provide food. They're thirsty, you provide water. They're cold, you provide clothes. You don't want them to live outdoors, you are providing housing. Kids by nature are socialists. If you don't raise them right, they'll grow up to be socialists and then communists because they don't know any different and they think kicking and screaming is how they're going to get their way because that's all they've ever been taught. That's why the Democrats are the way they are. AR-16, I started greeting my friends like, hey, my Nazis, what's up? Yeah, AR-16. Holy. Metalmouth, I don't care what people say or think about me, but if they put their hands on me, all bets are off. Yeah, Metalmouth, I'm the same way. People can say whatever they want as long as they don't touch me. Yes, I'm correct, and then we grow up. That's right. Russell, I just finished a really good series on Netflix called The Residents. Is that the series you were talking about where they're in the White House It's almost like what is that game where they say the butler killed the maid or whatever? It's kind of like that, right, Russell? We were watching the trailer in the voice chat. I wanna check it out. What's up, SOS? Happy freedom to you. Noble Kennedy was a Democrat. What happened to all those Democrat blue-collar workers should vote for Democrats, but not these fools who call themselves Democrats these days? Yeah, I saw a Chuck Norris video. I don't think it was new, which is why I didn't add it to the schedule. Clue, thank you, Hooligans. Yeah. That's what I was thinking of the series that Russell was talking about, The Resident. It's like White House version of Clue. But anyways, yeah, I seen a video of Chuck Norris, and again, I don't think it's very recent, but they were asking why he's a Republican and not a Democrat anymore. And he said that he's been a lifelong Democrat, but Democrats have lost their way. The Republicans today are the equivalents of what Democrats were in the 60s or 70s. And that the Democrats have lost their way and Republicans care about America. And that's what caused him to be a Republican. That's why I think it's not really worthwhile to have party affiliation. You know, people come in here all the time. A lot of them claiming I'm European, or someone called me Jewish the other day, and all this other stuff. Same thing with, you know, are you a Republican or a Democrat, blah, blah. I don't need their goofy ass labels. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and that's it. I don't claim affiliation with any of those goofy ass parties because we don't have control over those parties. So what do you do when Republicans become the next radicals? Then you got to change your party affiliation, all that shit. It's not that serious. It's just not. Vote for who you think is the best choice every time it's time to vote. I don't understand the point of having party affiliation when you don't have control over what the party does. You know, it's just like if MAGA became terrorists for real and they start doing bad shit, you wouldn't want to be associated with MAGA. You know, you wouldn't want that imagery around you. And that's what I think is goofy about the party affiliation. That's why I've never been affiliated with any kind of party or anything like that. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, and that's it. No, we don't need any more than that. Turns into like gang affiliation. That's too much. It's too much. Guess Chuck Norris changed to GOP after I had a talk with him. He had no choice. I see. Guess I figured it was something like that. Hair juicer, Democrat or Republican? Yes. Yeah, hair juicer, exactly. There's no need to be tied down to labels. Of course, there isn't any Democrats right now that are worth dog shit, but 10 years from now, you don't know, you know? J Spray, died by candlestick shoved up inside them. Who did it? The butler. Oh, that was a good one. The butler did it. Mm-hmm. Russell, Chuck Norris doesn't teabag the ladies. He potato sacks them. All right, save your jokes for Saturday. It's not free speech yet. Guess Chuck Norris knows Victoria's Secret. Mm-hmm. Scream Eagle. I'll check it out. I've never heard of La Raza, but I will look it up after the live. Thank you for letting me know, Screaming Eagle. Metal Mouth, I'm a conservative, nonpartisan metalhead. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. Pumpkin, you've seen The Residents and it's good. I think I'm going to give it a try here. Totally care, tantrums, name calling, and crying. Dems playlist. Yep. Because they're just grown-ass toddlers. Meta, they said it'll be here on Wednesday. It should be all right. I will check it on Wednesday. Thank you for letting me know. I'm gonna write a little note here. Of course, I can't spell Wednesday. That's okay, as long as I can read it. Oh, that's awesome, Meta. I appreciate it. Sky Leon. I'm very conservative, so in my opinion, Trump is a bit too liberal, especially with gay relationships, abortions, and IUI. But then again, I'm not an American, so it's not up to me. Yeah, Sky Leon, I don't know. After Old Man Walter, after dealing with Joe Biden, we're very happy to have Trump. What's up, A-Quest? Happy freedom. Blade, some states only have a two-party system. What do you mean they don't believe in independence and stuff like that? A-Quest. Snooks is on YouTube sometimes. Mary Beth, big protest starting in Milwaukee in support of Judge Dugan, and it's insane. That's one of the judges that's protecting illegals, right? I can't remember which one it is. I think it's the female. Because we got a male judge that we covered yesterday. We got a female judge that we're going to be covering today. Both of them were aiding and abetting illegals. So it's disgraceful that people are protesting in support of that judge. Salty Squirrel, everybody is dumb these days. Funny Pat is they ruin the world. Racist? Yeah. Oh, the word. They ruined the word racist. Yeah, and they're working on Nazi right now, too. The thing is it always backfires. They call everybody racist, so people act more racist because they think it's funny, because it hurts the feelings of people who say that. So when they call everybody Nazis and people start acting like Nazis to hurt their feelings, like I said the other day, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, so it's like it just backfires in their face. What's up, Moosey? Happy freedom to you. Wayward. I don't know much about rock music myself. I was into West Coast rap and Bone as a kid. Yeah, I listened to a lot of rap music when I was younger. Now the rap music is trash, but whatever's whatever. We're just Americans. Simple. Very, very simple. We are Americans. Here, Juicer, Ultra MAGA was the best backfire. Yeah, and the MAGA King in Trumponomics. Those were the only good things that Biden did the whole time he was in turn, was doing that. Guess race card name calling, labeling no longer working. Yeah. They did it to themselves. They did it to themselves. All right, hooligans, we'll get into this next one. Like I said, this is a follow-up on Luigi Manion. He is the assassin that shot the healthcare CEO. This is titled, Luigi Manion pleads not guilty to federal charges in CEO killing. Let's get this pulled up real quick. Like, you finally coming to work? Hey, talking to you, Klaus Daniels. I don't know what he's doing. Being lazy. Democrat. Anyways. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Now the government is seeking to put Luigi Manion to death if he's convicted on federal murder charges. Today, the accused killer back in court, pleading not guilty just moments ago to charges in the fatal shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Manion facing federal charges of murder through the use of a firearm and stalking charges, and could make him eligible for the death penalty. And not even 24 hours ago, federal prosecutors submitted a formal notice announcing plans to get him sentenced to death row if he's convicted. Attorney General Pam Bondi already signaling support, saying Manion should be executed for what she called a premeditated, cold-blooded assassination. Our chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky, joins me now from outside court, along with our ABC News contributor and trial attorney, Brian Buckmeyer. So, Aaron, set the scene for us there inside the courtroom as Manion pled not guilty.
He walked into court, Kira, in a beige jail outfit covering a long-sleeve gray T-shirt. It appeared he just had a haircut, but it's notable because when we've seen him before in state court, he's been allowed to wear civilian clothes. Much was made about whether he was wearing this new pair of Argyle socks. None of that became an issue when you're in jailed issued uniform. and he simply stood when told and entered a plea of not guilty to the 4-count federal indictment that, as you say, does carry the possibility of a death sentence because of the one charge, murder through the use of a firearm. The defense attorney, Karen Friedman Ignifilo, said today, Kira, that she would seek to try only the federal case because the death penalty is at stake, and try to make the state case that charges him with murder and terrorism offenses go away. This is a long process. Mangione's not due back in federal court until December, and in the meantime, the defense is going to try and get the death penalty off the table. We'll see how successful they are.
Okay. I don't know how this is going to go. This was kind of the left's new George Floyd for a while there. Now there's a lot of attention on Mahmud Khalil. Same thing with Carmelo Anthony, which we haven't heard about in a couple days. I think they went into hiding. I don't think they like all that attention that they were getting, the negative attention. They got that $500 million here, so, you know, what's left to do? They already made $500,000. So still waiting on a follow-up with Carmelo Anthony. I don't think we have anything on Mahmud Khalil today. Oh, actually, we do. We do got a follow-up with Mahmud Khalil. It's coming up next. Lots of these people, they're contending for the new George Floyd spot, the left's new martyr. That way they can hit the streets and burn buildings down and shit. It's only a matter of time. For the last couple of years, we've been waiting on it, but they're so in love with Joe Biden that it hasn't really been happening. But now that President Trump's in office, we've already had all kinds of protests. There's protests going on right now, I'm sure. We've already seen the encampment that was happening on Yale. They were getting all ready to put that together. So I'm pretty confident that we're going to have a spicy summer. And, of course, we're going to cover all of that. Either way, next up we have... Trump admin says no warrant was needed to arrest Columbia student activist Mahmud Khalil. Like I said, this is coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Luigi Manion. I wonder if he's going to get the death penalty. I wonder if they're going to give it to him. It depends on how these judges behave. They might give him an award. They might let him out of jail and award him as Woman of the Year. You never really know, so we'll figure it out. Snooks, I read that Carmelo Anthony was going to turn himself in. Interesting. I thought he was... They must be weird, because I thought he would have already been in custody and freed. SOS, yeah, they are. Each predator has a fan club. Yeah, they are worshiping these people. So as soon as they get knocked down like dominoes, which is going to happen, I think Carmelo Anthony is going to go to prison for murder. I think that Mahmud Khalil is going to be deported. I think Luigi Manion is going to go to prison. I don't necessarily think they're going to give him the death penalty, but I think he's going to end up in prison. They might give him the death penalty. It's hard to say. But as soon as this stuff happens, it's going to ramp up the left to become more violent. And as each one goes down, they will become more violent. They will bring on more people into their protests and stuff like that. And on top of that, you have blue team, you got blue leaders who are calling for this, right? When USAID got shut down, you had Schumer and Maxine Waters and all these people out there saying, be active, bring this action to the streets and fight and do all this crap. A lot of them are pretty much openly saying to target Elon and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm very confident we're gonna have a spicy summer. SOS bailed out on $200,000 bond, I think, for. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Carmelo Anthony. Was he the one that had $900,000 bond and then turned around and got $250,000 bond? It was lowered 3/4 by some random judge, and then they bonded out, and all of a sudden they all started wearing suits and shit, and then they turned around and said that they didn't even get any money out of the donation stuff yet. I'm starting to remember now. We cover so much. Who is that, AR-16? Pumpkin, I don't understand why women are attracted to murderers. Because they like bad dudes. That's why, I don't know, like, I probably shouldn't say this. I would say that's why they end up with dudes that are drug dealers and women beaters and stuff like that. Because it's edgy and it's cool looking. I think grown-ass women don't like that stuff. I think grown-ass women like security and consistency and stuff. But young women, they want somebody to whoop their ass and feed them drugs. I don't know. It's a sad world. SOS judge said he needed to be with his family. Oh, yeah, poor little murderer. Metalmouth Carmelo Anthony's out on bail right now. He turned himself in. Or if he turned himself in, I'll be surprised. Well, if he's on bail, there's nothing to even turn in. He's got to go through his preliminary hearing, I would assume. He probably hasn't gone through that yet. I assume he's going to trial. So he'll probably have some formal hearing coming up, and then they'll set a date for trial. They'll have to pick jurors and stuff like that. It'll be interesting. If they televise it, we might as well cover it. Why not? We'll see how it goes. Welcome back, Kevin. Happy freedom to you. Mary Todd, definitely death penalty is the way to go. Yeah, they were talking about the death penalty because he believes in what he did or whatever. So that means if he comes across other healthcare CEOs, he might just shoot them too. And they don't want that. And so because he made the statement the way he did, they might just give him the death penalty instead of having to worry for the next 50 years if he's going to shoot another person. Pumpkin, there's a lot of evil out there. Absolutely. Ghostly, yeah. I mean, it sounds like fun when you're young, but when you get older, you don't want to deal with that crap. Screaming Eagle, probably a formal arrangement. Yeah. I think he's got a preliminary hearing yet. I don't think he's gone through that yet. Hair Juicer Anthony did turn himself in. Well, he was arrested when it happened. I forgot about all of that. He stabbed the kid, fled, was arrested, and when he was arrested, that's when he asked the officer if the case could be considered self-defense. And then he got out on bond, and he's been claiming self-defense ever since, which doesn't make any sense, but that's what they're going with. Jay Spray, I've always lived by the motto that a smart man knows when to act dumb. Just saying, don't overlook a dumbass. It's true. Meta for your presidential music could be Queen, We Are the Champions, Eagles, Hotel California. Those are good choices. I actually know those songs. What's up, Rich? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Status Quo? Happy freedom to you if I can get you already. Status Quo, potential of charges is before the grand jury. Elevated charges. Yeah, so it's still developing. What about Ryan Ruth? When are we going to hear more about that? He was he was all ready to take shots at the president. They don't never talk about that. We heard about Ryan Ruth not that long ago, but they didn't say a whole lot. They're kind of spoon feeding us with Ryan Ruth. A-Quest Portland will go off again. I think so. And we got brand new activists and protesters out there. The old guys we used to watch, which I can't even hardly remember their names anymore. One guy's name was, I know we had PDX Ninja. We used to watch him a lot. Somebody named Boop Troop or something like that. There was a bunch of guys. I still follow all these guys, but they don't go live anymore. And it's because near the end of the lockdowns, when we were covering the protests every single day, they stopped going live because they realized they were incriminating themselves. Because me and the other guys that followed in my footsteps, because when I started, it was me and woke.net and nobody else. There wasn't anybody else showing protest content. And so everybody else started doing what I was doing, and all those guys in Portland realized they were incriminating themselves, so they stopped going live. And a lot of them came out with podcasts and tried to do other things instead of protests, and it all fizzled out. The lockdowns ended, the protests stopped for the most part, and those guys stopped going live. They stopped creating content and all of that. Now, so many years has gone by, 5 years or something like that has gone by now. We have new protesters. We have new activists who haven't been told to not share content and all of that. So when they activate this summer, most likely we will have new protesters that are actually going to go live in Portland. And that's where all the stuff was really bad, was in Portland. We've covered damn near the whole country. We've had a protest in almost every state since I've been live streaming, but Portland was always the worst. And it's because they're allowed to do all that stuff. In other states, they would try and soften it. They'd break up the crowd, or they'd kettle them and start arresting people or dispersing them. We see that in Los Angeles. They'll kettle them and then make them disperse instead of actually arresting them. But in Portland, they just let it happen. Like AREX. We used to cover AREX. AREX used to be like a fan favorite. If we put AREX on the screen, we knew shit was going to go down. But same thing, just kind of fizzled out, and those people aren't really around anymore. Aquest 1 is dead. I wonder if it's who I think it is. I don't want to bring him up. What's up, Blade? Happy Freedom. Snugs, Behind Enemy Lines, Common Sense Conservative, Terra, American Brotherhood. Yeah. But those are all conservatives. I was talking about Antifa that we were actually watching. Boob Troop. Yeah, get some. I don't think they go live anymore. I don't know. I'd have to look. I used to get notifications all the time, and then it just stopped. Oh, Hair Juicer, you're thinking of the school shooter? Yeah, the Dallas school shooter. Yeah, he turned himself in, and that's where his parents were patting him on the back and telling him he's a good boy, and he was shaking all the cops' hands and all that. Yeah. 10 Man, happy freedom to you. I was looking for you. My question is, when does it stop being a protest to an unruly gathering or a riot? Well, it depends on what's happening, but pretty much as soon as they're infringing on anybody else's rights, that's when shit goes array. Protest is just free speech. It's our First Amendment, and I think our Fourth Amendment. It's our Fourth or our Fifth Amendment together. We have the right to gather, and we have the right to free speech. Together, we have the right to protest. And so that's where we're good. But then when you step out of those lines, you start becoming unruly. You're threatening other people. You're becoming belligerent. So that's disorderly. Or you were physically putting your hands on somebody or destroying somebody else's property, where you're now in like riot territory. Riot is basically disorderly plus. Ghostly, bitch be spoiled, get you a horse girl. Horse girls are the shit. I'm scared of horses. I just need a woman that'll break me of my fear of horses. I don't know. We'll see. There ain't a lot of women out there that want to be with a guy that screams at his computer for a living. Yeah, I'm just saying. Elisa, Portland is a dumpster fire. Yeah, but they love it. They love it that way. If they didn't, they'd do something about it. Era 16, I found an immigration map online. Found it strange that Ukrainians are all over Oregon and Washington State. Well, they can blend in and become unnoticed because no one's paying attention over there. Pumpkin, I went to Seattle several times before 2016. It seemed nice, except for the addicts. Yeah, we have hooligans that live over there, and they have places in their area that they love, but they always admit, if the left wouldn't have been allowed to take over, things wouldn't be as bad as they are. And our youths are a mostly peaceful riot, coming this summer. Elisa the Quiet Riot. Era 16, a fella that can't ride a horse is a dude. Yeah, I guess. In my life, I'm the horse. Anyways. Snooks, you just need a spirited mayor. I don't even know what that means. I probably shouldn't have read that out loud. 10-man, but who makes the call? It would be the mayor, usually. If it's in city limits, it'd be the mayor. I would think. Would be the one to make the call. Or captain, police captain. It'd probably be up to them, really. Maybe they would have to get the okay from the mayor. The problem is when people don't want to. When like Ted Wheeler, right? Ted Wheeler is the mayor in Portland, or at least he was during the lockdowns. And when they're out there rioting, and the police captain's not allowed to do anything, and the mayor's out there hanging out with protesters, nobody's calling it a riot. And that's the thing. It has to be somebody of authority that's labeling, okay, we're now in riot conditions. You know, now it's get everybody off the street. But if you don't have anybody making that call, it's a peaceful riot. That's what's going on. Russell, we are hooligans. We are unruly. We are. Russell, you need a woman to saddle break you. I'd sign up for that in a heartbeat. Fuck. That's right. Break me, woman. Mm-hmm. Jay Spray, whatever happened to like daisies in the rifle like Forrest Gump? I don't know. I wouldn't take any advice from Forrest Gump. Tom Hanks is a pedophile and Forrest Gump was a dumbass. So I don't know. I try not to take life lessons from that movie. There used to be a meme that went around saying, my last relationship was like the story of Forrest Gump. I was a dumbass and she was a whore. Love it. Pumpkin mayors need to mind their own business. Yeah. Ted Wheeler being out there with the protesters getting maced in the face with bear mace was golden. He deserves it. He signed up for it. Shroomish mayors are in charge of the cops. Yeah. As I was trying to figure out that situation, but when it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you got 20-year-old dumbasses out there breaking out in a riot, do you wake up the mayor, or does the captain, you know, the police chief or whatever, does he just make the call? Screaming Eagle, constitutional sheriff has the ultimate authority. Yeah. Meta, you need a gentle taming. I'm something. I need something, I'm sure. Hey, thanks for being here, Sky Leon. Yeah, Moosey. What's up, Mike Ingle? Happy Freedom. Rosa, Concrete Media. I forgot about Rosa. Yeah, wow. You think they got locked up? I wouldn't be surprised with the stuff that they were doing. I forgot about Rosa. Holy crap. We'd put Rosa on the screen. Everybody'd be like, what the hell is that? And I'm like, yeah. Aquez, Ted Wheeler was a police commissioner as well as the mayor. That's why that place is the way it is. What's up, Elder Zoomer? Happy Freedom to you. All right, hooligans, let's go ahead and move forward here. Like I said, this next one is Trump admin says no warrant was needed to arrest Columbia student activist Mahmud Khalil. Now, this isn't exactly breaking news, but it is an update on the left's martyr, Mahmud Khalil. Now, they say he lied on his visa. He's waiting to go to New Jersey to go to court to get that sorted out. As far as I know, he's lost his green card because of his ties to a foreign government, as well as sympathizing with terrorists. He's a pro-Hamas protester. And so he's on his way to be deported, but the left believes that the government's just infringing on his free speech, and that's it. They think that the government is coming after him for free speech. They're going to be super butthurt when he actually gets deported. Hit the like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Federal authorities admitted Thursday that they arrested anti-Israel activist Mahmud Khalil without a warrant last month, but argued the arrest was necessary due to concerns he might flee. The 30-year-old Columbia University graduate and legal permanent resident was taken into custody on March 8th after an immigration officer believed Khalil was unwilling to cooperate and could leave the scene, according to a Justice Department filing. Khalil, who was born in Syria, was confronted by an HSI agent at his Manhattan apartment building. After allegedly refusing to cooperate while his wife retrieved his green card, he was arrested in the foyer and later served with a warrant at a processing office. Khalil has been detained in Louisiana since his arrest, facing possible deportation over his involvement in anti-Israel protests on campus. He is not facing any criminal charges, but the Trump administration claims his beliefs conflict with U.S. foreign policy. The American Civil Liberties Union and Khalil's lawyers slammed the government's admission, calling the warrantless arrest egregious and politically motivated. His attorneys argue that DHS lied about having a warrant and are urging the immigration court to dismiss the case. Earlier this month, an immigration judge ruled that Khalil could be removed from the country, but he still has the right to appeal.
For more stories just like these.
Okay, Mahmud Khalil there. Now, I mentioned this earlier in the live. I don't know how that all works, right? Because, like, if it was me or you, we can't be arrested without a arrest warrant. They have to have the ability to arrest us. They have to believe that we did something wrong. Now, they claim that he was detained without an arrest warrant, but they also said that he wasn't being charged with a crime. He had lied on his visa, and he sympathized with terrorists, which is causing him to lose his green card. So he wasn't arrested on a criminal offense. He was arrested on like a migratorial offense, if that's even a word, his migrant status, right? So I think that they're just kind of putting this out there probably to stir the left up even more, to say, hey, he was arrested without a warrant. Well, he wasn't arrested on criminal charges, and that's what you need a warrant for. Now, they were making claims that they provided a warrant later on, but again, he wasn't arrested on criminal charges. He was arrested because of his legal status being in the country. He had broke the rules when it comes to his green card. He's sympathizing with the terrorist organization. And so I don't know exactly what that video is. I just know there was an update with Mahmud Khalil, and we're trying to stay up to date with things. But I think the ultimate purpose of that video was to tell the left, who really think that he was arrested for free speech, that he also was arrested without a warrant, right? And that would get you all stirred up. But again, he's not being criminally charged, so there wouldn't be an arrest warrant, because he wasn't arrested for criminal charges. He was arrested for his legal status. So whole different situation there, but you know, the left can't read and shit. So tis what it is, but either way, that's our update on Mahmud Khalil. Next up, we got the last little bit of the news. This is Pam Bondi details judge's actions before arrest, saying you can't make this up. Now, this is partially a follow-up. Yesterday, we covered a video where there was a judge, a guy, who had an illegal with him that is supposedly Tren de Aragua. He was allowing this guy to live in the house. He was renting some guest house, I guess it is. They're using some phrase, and I don't know what the phrase is. I don't know if they say call it a cabana or something. I don't know what it is. But it sounds like they were renting the guest house out to this TDA gang member illegal. And this is a judge, remember, providing housing and then also allowing him to have access to his firearms and even allowing him to shoot those firearms on his property. So he's providing housing and firearms to an illegal who is accused TDA member. We covered that yesterday, right? We didn't have all the details, but that was the basics of the story there. In this next one with Pam Bondi here, they're going to talk about that situation and show him being arrested. Because that was a big question we had yesterday was, yeah, he's not allowed to be a judge, but is he going to prison? Right? And they didn't say anything about that. In this video, they're going to show him being arrested. So hopefully he will be held accountable legally, not just have his job taken away because, you know, he's aiding and abetting an illegal. But on top of that, which is our follow-up part of the story, they're going to talk about this new woman judge who tried to smuggle this illegal out of court to, I don't know what the hell she thought she was going to do, but he was already being tried in court for domestic violence. ICE was there to pick him up, I believe, and she tried to smuggle him out the courtroom and go through an exit, and I think they had to actually chase her down and get her in order to arrest her, and she's going to eat shit too. So, good stuff coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this follow-up with Mahmud Khalil. Oh, Russell. Keep your farts to yourself. Guess so he was trying to exercise rights that he does not actually have as a non-citizen. Yeah, makes sense. Well, his free speech, he does have free speech rights because of the way our Constitution is worded. I think free speech is one of those rights in the Constitution where it says all men. It doesn't say all Americans or whatever, which is dumb. It, like, obviously the Constitution is for U.S. citizens, but the way that the judges are reading the Constitution, this is one of those things where he does have the right to free speech, but you don't have the right to sympathize with terrorists, right? You don't have the right to say you want to join ISIS or any of that kind of stuff. You talk like that, you're going to get picked up by Fed boys, and they're going to put you on the news. You know, they wish people would say that sarcastically just so they could go arrest those people. So that's where, you know, he broke it. Now, if he was an American, maybe it'd be a little bit more difficult, right? Because he'd have all of the constitutional rights. But with Mahmud Khalil, they were just waiting for him to slip up, and he did. So they stripped his green card status. He's not legally anything after that. So, yeah. Guess if it says all men, women are so fucked. Well, yeah, that's true. I don't think it says women in the Constitution, so just saying. I didn't write the shit, okay? It is that way. Guess we gave you a rib. Come on, you're greedy. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it says in the Bible. Men were created to serve God and women were created to serve men. That's why when we talk about propaganda, that's why we talk about it that way. Is because men don't go out there and buy $50 Stanley Cups. Women do. And if women don't have a way to do it, what do? They get their husband to fucking do it. And God did the same thing. God said, I want man to worship me, and he created Adam. Adam was sad and lonely. He said, get off your ass, Adam. You need to serve me. Adam said, I can't. I'm just too damn depressed. So he ripped his little riblet out, and he created Eve. And he's like, here, woman, make this man serve me. And she was like, get your lazy ass up and serve God. And Adam did. And it's still that way today. I don't know if that's exactly how the Bible goes, but it's more or less that way. Anyways. Russell, stamp that dude's meal card, no dessert, and send him home. That's right. Guess technically a game warden can arrest you without a warrant as well. Yeah, I could see that. I think if they arrest you in the middle of committing a crime, I don't think they need a warrant. Right? Like if you were spray painting a building and a cop caught you doing it, they don't need to call a judge or anybody and have a warrant provided. They could just arrest you right there. I think it's after the crime. Like if they didn't arrest you while committing the crime, they have to have a warrant to come get you afterwards. I think that's how it works. Russell, that puke needs to get out of this country? Absolutely. And I'm telling you, the left is going to get butthurt about it. When Mahmud Khalil goes, which is what he signed up for, the left is going to be mad. Kevin, Adam and Eve, epic rap battle of history. I think I've seen it. Guess if you spray paint a moose, you're arrested. I think so. Oh, awesome, Roy. I appreciate you. I'm glad you got it figured out. Cricket kiss. And Adam was doing what when the serpent was harassing Eve? Watching porn, probably. Well, and the other thing is that they think that Eve wasn't necessarily talking to a serpent like a snake, like it's depicted, but talking to a smooth talker, right? Talking to Lucifer, who smooth talked her. And eating the fruit, a lot of people think, was not her simply eating an apple, but her having sex with Lucifer because he's such a smooth talker. So then it makes you wonder if Eve was the first person to cheat on a guy. Just saying. The Bible comes up every day we go live. Screaming Eagle, my buddy has gout. Red meat aggravates the condition. I've heard of gout before. I don't really know how you get it, though. don't they got to like remove your foot or something like that? Or have we figured that out? I don't know a whole lot about gout. Guess you think the judge was having a relationship with the illegal? It might be. I don't know why else the judge would go through all that trouble. Metamouth, anyone else in the chat remember the Jaded Assholes Club? No, I've never heard of that. Stoner, gout is from eating too much organ meat or something? Interesting. Happy freedom to you, Cricket Kiss. What's up, Cool Frog? Happy freedom to you. Guess I'm never trust a bigger snake. I mean, I guess. I don't trust snakes regardless of size. Kevin, we weren't supposed to be conscious. We were supposed to be pure like animals, and Adam and Eve ate the apple to become self-aware. Yeah. Pumpkin, I'm a normal person for now. I strive to be normal myself. Zero, an extremely painful inflammation of joints, especially of the big toe, caused by a metabolic defect resulting in the accumulation of uric acid in the blood and the deposition of urates around the joints. Interesting. Zero, the verb. Yeah, it's a verb. That's funny. 10-man, damn, gout? I know. The only thing I know about gout is I was watching Disenchantment, which is like medieval Simpsons, and the king got gout. And the king had a buddy who had gout, and they removed his whole foot. And that was the end of the episode. And that's literally all I know about gout. So it's not exactly a formal education on it. Pumpkin, I've never eaten a bad diet. It's good stuff. I eat terrible food all the time because I'd rather work than eat healthy. But that's just, it is what it is. DEFCON, happy freedom to you. A gout demon. Yep. I see what you're saying, Metamouth. What's up, James? Happy freedom. Biking Cat, free speech is protected for all people in the U.S. territory. MAGA is doing a bad, wrong jumping on this bandwagon of deporting people for alleged terrorist ties. I mean, I guess. Like I said before when we were talking about the poor father from Maryland, dictating if people are connected to gangs and stuff like that is very difficult. But people sympathizing with terrorism, even before we had Mahmud Khalil. Last year, we covered some 17-year-old who was duped by feds on the internet who pretended to be ISIS. And they were saying, yeah, go and scout this area, bring back what you find, and we're going to have you execute this plan or whatever in the name of ISIS. And this person said, okay. And they went and scouted this area and came back, and the Fed boys picked him up, and they stuck his face all over the news claiming he was a member of ISIS. And I don't know how that's not entrapment. They were the ones pretending to be ISIS, and they were the ones seeing if he would jump through the hoops. And that's all it took. And he was being charged as an adult and all that, and he's probably in prison right now. Mahmud Khalil has done just a little less than that, and he's not even an American. And so that's kind of the problem, is showing sympathy for terrorists is what's getting these guys all jammed up. And like I said, if he was an American, they may not be able to do as much to him. Like they said in the video, he's not even being charged as a criminal. He's being deported because he had interfered with his green card status. Part of his green card status is to not have ties with a federal or a foreign government and to not sympathize with terrorists. But he lied on his visa. He actually has connections to a foreign government, and so he should have never got a green card in the first place. And so, I mean, whether or not he's actually a terrorist, it's bad enough that he sympathizes with terrorists. And if they were to make connections with him, that he would probably follow through with whatever they have going on, whatever the expectations may be, because he sympathizes with them. And so I don't think that they should be just picking people up randomly and deporting them just because, or sending them to Supermax just because. But the thing is for a lot of these people, if they weren't here illegally, they wouldn't even be a consideration in a lot of these instances. But like with the poor Maryland from father, right? We don't actually, from Maryland, Garcia, we don't actually know if he's MS-13. Even his tattoos, a lot of it is speculation. We just speculate that he's MS-13. But he is illegal, and he is a woman beater, and his wife did put a personal protection order on him, and so he deserves to be deported. And he's from El Salvador, so if he was going to go anywhere, he'd go to El Salvador, and that's right where he is. But he's inside of CCOT. Now, if he's not MS-13, he shouldn't be inside of CCOT. But the thing is you can't prove it. You can't prove if he is or he isn't, and he's already inside. But no matter how it goes, he will never come back to the U.S., and he is a citizen of El Salvador. So it's up to Boo Kelly if he wants to dictate whether or not he's an MS-13 gang member. If Garcia is an MS-13 gang member, he's right where he should be. But if he's not, then he should be on the outside of CCOT in El Salvador, but he'll still never be allowed to come to America. And that's the thing, is there's a struggle between blue news and red news, where red news is just celebrating everything that these claims are made out of, right? They just consider everybody MS-13 or Tren de Aragua, and they don't really know what they're talking about. And then you got blue news, where yesterday we covered they're literally saying, oh, they're going to start deporting black people just because. Americans, just deporting Americans just because. So you got blue news that is constantly lying about shit. You got red news that doesn't give a fuck about details, and this is happening all the damn time. And so without anybody really delegating this shit, it could be kidnappings. It could be celebrating of this shit, or it could all be bullshit because of what the blue team does. So that's the thing. That's why we cover so much of it, is not necessarily that we want to be on board with it. But I think that there is MAGA out there who feels the same way as red news, where they don't care if you're MS-13 or not, go to Supermax. Just as much as there's blue news out there saying, oh, well, Trump's going to start deporting black Americans and things like that. So I don't know. It's all whatever. Biking Cat, that's still using the government language, terrorist, and what the definition of sympathizing. This is sliding down a slippery slope. I mean, I guess that's perspective, though. It's perspective. If somebody believes that Hamas is good people, there's a chance that they will carry out what Hamas wants. That is sympathizing. And I don't use sympathizing from what the government says. I use it from covering protesters for years. We used to watch solidarity marches where they were sympathizing for criminals who were being killed and abducted by police and all this other shit. And so I don't use sympathizing because of government language. I use it because of dumb 20-year-olds who sympathize with criminals being arrested and killed. So it's not the same, but that's why I say it's perspective. That's your perspective to see that language that way, even though that's not where I got it from. That's what makes the propaganda so dangerous, is because it interferes with your perspective, which is based off of your life experience. And so just like when you see, if you go to the airport and your pilot's black, now people are going to wonder if it's a DEI hire. That would have never happened if Biden wouldn't have done what he'd done. But now people think that. Just like when 911 day happened and they said that all those people were Middle Eastern. Well, then Americans started looking at Middle Eastern people like they might be terrorists and stuff. And that's why propaganda is so dangerous. Now, they can't do anything to silence free speech, but when there's propaganda, people need to call it out, because there's normies out there, there's people who ain't paying enough attention who will fall for the propaganda and then walk around spreading it. Status quo, gout referred to in the past as rich man's disease. Yeah, because you got to be able to eat enough to actually get it. Devin is the judge on the Diddy list. I didn't even think of that. It could be. It could be. Holy Russell, I don't know if I can say that out loud. The zero dropping the dildozer? Yes. Ghostly, just being honest. I like that. Metamouth, I'm a female body inspector. That's right, you're a professional. All right, hooligans, we're going to move forward. Like I said, we got the last little bit of the news here. Pam Bondi details judge's actions before arrest, saying you can't make this up. Now, like I said, this is partially a follow-up video because we covered a judge yesterday who apparently was arrested for housing and providing guns to a Tren de Aragua member that this guy was trying to make a part of the family. They're going to talk about this story, and they're going to talk about this new story of this female judge that was trying to pull this illegal immigrant through the courthouse and try and help him escape ICE. All of this is coming up. Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommentTube, and let's get into this.
But first, a Wisconsin judge under arrest and facing charges accused of flouting federal law to help an illegal immigrant. Federal prosecutors say Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan allegedly helped that migrant avoid arrest by ICE officers at the courthouse. It's a bizarre case, and it's still unfolding. Hello, I'm John Roberts in Washington. Sandra, good to see you back again.
All right, good to be back with you as well, John. I'm Sandra Smith in New York, and this is America Reports. So today's arrest of a judge marks the second such case in the last 24 hours. A former New Mexico judge and his wife were taken into custody yesterday. Federal agents arresting them for harboring a suspected Tren de Aragua gang member in their guest house.
For more on all of this, we are honored to have in the new U.S. Attorney General, Pam Bondi. It's good to talk to you, Pam.
Good to talk to you.
So let me read a little bit from the criminal complaint here. And Judge Dugan says, despite having been advised of the administrative warrant for the arrest of Flores Ruiz, Judge Dugan then escorted Flores Ruiz and his counsel out of the courtroom through the jury door, which leads to a non-public area of the courthouse. A foot chase ensued. The agents pursued Flores Ruiz for the entire length of the courthouse and ultimately apprehended him. According to this complaint, Judge Dugan was visibly angry that ICE was there to arrest Flores Ruiz, even tried to kick the deportation agents out of the courthouse.
Yeah, and to set the stage for you and Sandra, this was truly horrific. This guy was in court being prosecuted by a state prosecutor for domestic violence battery. He had beat up two people, a guy and a girl, hit the guy 30 times, knocked him to the ground, choked him, beat up a woman so badly they both had to go to the hospital. And John, you know, it's so rare for victims to want to cooperate. They wanted to cooperate. They were sitting in the courtroom with the state prosecutor. The judge learns that ICE was outside to get the guy because he had been deported in 2013, came back in our country, commits these crimes, charged with committing these crimes, victims in court. Judge finds out. She goes out in the hallway, screams at the immigration officers. She's furious, visibly shaken, upset, sends them off to talk to the chief judge. She comes back in the courtroom. You're not going to believe this. Takes the defendant and the defense attorney back in her chambers, takes them out a private exit and tells them to leave. While a state prosecutor and victims of domestic violence are sitting in the courtroom.
Wow.
You know, Madam Attorney General, great to have you here, and thanks for coming back on America Report. So we remember these words of Tom Homan, the border czar. This was March 17th, and his message on these judges who apparently are trying to get in the way of this administration's efforts. Listen.
I'm proud to be a part of this administration. We're not stopping. I don't care what the judges think. I don't care what the left thinks. We're coming.
So when you see these judges trying to obstruct your efforts to make this country safer, what is your message to them?
We are going to prosecute you, and we are prosecuting you. I found out about this the day it happened. We could not believe, actually, that a judge really did that. We looked into the facts in great depth. That's her picture up on the screen, Hannah Dugan, who is now in custody. You cannot obstruct a criminal case, and really, shame on her. It was a domestic violence case of all cases, and she's protecting a criminal defendant over victims of crime.
In fact, she just had an initial appearance in court. There's also this other case coming out of New Mexico. Judge Joel Cano and his wife were arrested for harboring a TDA member at their home. The alleged TDA member had been picked up by law enforcement, and now he and his wife were picked up and arrested. And you say that you believe, as the Attorney General, that the person that they were having living at their home was a truly potentially bad individual.
Yeah, that's the judge up on the screen now who got arrested. Yeah, his name is Ortega. He was is a known TDA member. So he comes through Eagle Pass December 2023. He's living in our country. January 2025, ICE, they get a tip. Tom Homan's done a great job. Our FBI did a great job on this case, too. They get a tip that he is living with a judge and the judge's wife. So they have him arrested first on immigration charges. A Judge Damian Martinez releases him, saying that Judge Cano has a good BS meter and wouldn't let just anyone live on his property.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the associations with this violent Venezuelan gang, Tren de Aragua, and this person that they harbored in their home, he was showing signs through clothing, we were told, tattoos. There was evidence through voice messages and text messages of his association to TDA. So what charges will Cano and his wife face, if any?
So Judge Cano, soon to be former Judge Cano, got his charges were just unsealed. He's charged with obstruction. He admitted post Miranda. He took one of the TDA members' cell phones himself, took it, beat it with a hammer, destroyed it, and then walked the pieces to a city dumpster to dispose of it to protect him. The wife also is charged with destroying evidence. Sandra, not only that, this TDA member, and he had on a necklace that said kill, something about death. He had tattoos all over him. He also had on his cell phone pictures of two decapitated victims, decapitated, gruesome photos, and he was sending them out, and whoever he was sending them to was sending back saying, hey, you need to be careful. You shouldn't be sending these. You shouldn't be texting these photos out. Not only that, these two, the judge and his wife, gave him assault rifles that belonged to their daughter. That's what they're charged with. In the criminal report affidavit, he goes to a shooting range with these assault rifles, with a suppressor, with other known TDA members, and they're shooting. This is the last person that we want in our country, nor will we ever tolerate a judge or anyone else harboring them.
Let me, if I could, Madam Attorney General, come back to the Wisconsin case and Judge Hannah Dugan, because in allegedly letting the perpetrator and the attorney out through a non-public exit and allowed them to get out in front of the building. We had a situation where we've seen that I know Tom Homan was complaining about in Colorado, where there would be no transfer of a defendant from a jail to ICE custody on a detainer request in a way that was orderly and protected public safety. They would dump them off in a parking lot, and then ICE would have to chase them around with the DEA or whatever, or FBI, and pick them up. This ended up in a foot chase in public sight. It says here, a foot chase ensued. The agents, and this was a DEA agent and an FBI agent, pursued Flores Ruiz for the entire length of the courthouse, ultimately apprehended him near the intersection of West State Street and 10th Street. So the judge apparently has created a situation here where you have a public foot chase. And we all know that, well, sometimes they can come off without incident. They can also turn into very dangerous situations.
John, that's exactly right. She put the lives of our law enforcement officers at risk. She put the lives of citizens at risk. A street chase, which is absurd that had to happen. But yes, she put a lot of people in danger. That judge did it. So did the other judge. Judge Cano is charged with. They were allegedly giving him assault rifles, AK-47s, AR-15s, with a suppressor, a known TDA member, letting him go to a shooting range to refine and perfect his shooting skills.
Madam
What's
Attorney,
happened to our judiciary is beyond me.
Yeah, so when the American public hears this and they think these were once upstanding people in their communities and their professions, and they put it all on the line for this, I mean, have you dug into their motive? Like, what inspired them to carry out these acts and harbor criminals?
They're deranged is all I can think of. I cannot believe. I think some of these judges think they are beyond and above the law, and they are not. And we're sending a very strong message today. If you are harboring a fugitive, we don't care who you are. If you are helping hide one, if you are giving a TDA member guns, anyone who is illegally in this country, we will come after you and we will prosecute you. We will find you.
If I could just finish off with this idea, very significant development that you're arresting judges now. Now, it could be that the judges have engaged in terribly bad behavior and deserve to be arrested. But you know what critics will say? They'll say, "Oh, this is a government that is expanding the powers of the Article 1 of the Constitution. Now they're arresting judges." How do you respond to that?
No one is above the law, John. No one is above the law in this country. And if you are destroying evidence, if you are obstructing justice, when you have victims sitting in a courtroom of domestic violence and you're escorting a criminal defendant out a back door, it will not be tolerated, and it is a crime in the United States of America. Doesn't matter who you are, you're going to be prosecuted.
Madam Attorney General, great to see you in the studio.
Great to see you.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank
your
you
time.
very much. Appreciate that.
Okay, Pam Bondi with the sex phone operator voice. That's probably the most I've heard her speak. She sounds like one of those 1-900 numbers. I don't know. Anyways, I didn't really like that she kept referring to the AK and stuff as an assault rifle. That's Democrat language there. All guns are used for assault. So I didn't really like that. And it's kind of weird when blue team uses that. You see Republicans say that in response. Don't call it an assault rifle. All guns are for assault rifles. Unless it's convenient for red team to use it. And you got Pam Bondi out here, it's an assault rifle, big scary assault rifle. Like, I don't like that. Especially because she brought red flag laws to Florida, which sucks, right? She made it so in Florida you can basically pick up the phone and point a finger and have somebody else's firearms taken away, and they got to go to court to fight to get them back, all because of that phone call. So I don't really like that. But either way, like I said, that was a follow-up video on the judge that we covered yesterday who had that Tren de Aragua member that he was housing and providing guns to. Apparently he did get arrested, and he is going to be charged with something, and we'll see how that sticks. And then this new female judge here who is trying to help an illegal flee out of the courthouse and all of that, leading to a foot chase. Stupid. It's just really exposing corruption. That's what's going on. They're really exposing corruption. Anyways, that is the last little bit of the news. We got the fun stuff coming up. We got an unboxing that's going to take place. You guys sent me some goodies to open up. Then we will be opening today's door of the advent calendar that was sent to us by Hair Juicer. And we got two funny videos of the day. First one's titled Kitties and Titties, that was provided by Stoner. And our official funny video of the day is titled Tinder Gone Wrong, and that was provided by Russell. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Pam Bondi and these two corrupt judges. Oh, that's an awesome picture, Zero. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that, Josh. 1776. Chase spray. My God, I can't even read half of this stuff out loud. Thank you for tagging me, Zero. I'll check it out after the live. Snooks, it's aiding and abetting a criminal. It's no different. Yeah. Now, hopefully these people actually get convicted. Being charged with a crime is just the first step. But if they want, like, say they get in front of a judge that sympathizes with them, they could let them go. They could drop the charges and let these people go. Now, we know that the male judge has been disbarred. He's not able to be a judge anymore. I don't know about the female judge. I don't know if that's happened yet. So we'll see how it goes, but hopefully this all leads to convictions. Josh 1776, they should be kicked out of America. Yep, they want to help for the downfall so much. Kevin, I'm eating shortbread cookies. Now, if I throw one at you, it's an assault cookie. That's right, Kevin. That's right. Screaming Eagle, the judge and his wife now are Bible thumpers. Yeah, I'm sure. That's how they're going to talk about it on TV. Metamouth, I'm sure that judge's wife got the smug look wiped right off of her face when she went into booking. Yeah, I bet so too. Air 16, I want more winning. Yes, me too. Kevin, we need Batman. We do. We got supervillains. We don't have any superheroes. What's up, Justin Sane? Happy freedom to you. Bondi has a shiny forehead. I can't help my greasy face. Pam Bondi, I don't know if she can help hers. It's hard to say. Women put all those chemicals on their face, so I never really know. Bill Clay, happy freedom to you. FBI agents discover 17 more illegals hiding in the judge's robe, says the Babylon Bee. Love that. Babylon Bee is awesome. Metal Mouth, freedom fries, salted with the tears of liberals, taste delicious. Oh, they taste delicious. That's right. Freedom fries. Go say, I feel like Cash is working hard and Pam is just stepping is just stepping into the press, claiming his achievements to distract from her bad press and no list. It could be. It could be. Told the carrier Pam's good at deflection. They need to just go and get these guys that they promised us. They said that they were going to provide the list. I'm trying to remember if they actually said that they were going to arrest people on the client list, because they sure as hell have not done that. I'd be happy if they arrested one person at this point. What's up, Dabs? Happy freedom. Kevin, can you cover our election Monday? Maybe. We can talk about it. I don't know really what it would take to cover it, because I don't know anybody that's running or anything like that, but we will definitely mention it, Kevin. J Spray, assault ban rifles. Yes. Guess I can't arrest them for just being on the list. No, I just mean if they're on the videotapes and they're raping little kids, that there's no statute of limitations on that. They're going to blame AI. They're going to say it's an AI-generated video, but they should still arrest them. Meta. These are the people paid to judge us. Mad, mad world. Yep, you're right. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom. Not assault when it's used as a defense rifle. Yeah, I suppose. Devin, Breaking Bad wasn't supposed to be a documentary. It wasn't intended to be. What's up, Keith? Happy freedom. He's just a Maryland man. Yeah. What's up, Patrol? Happy freedom. Am I the only person super upset that judges would act this way? No, everybody's pissed off about it, but not much we could do. Where would she put others at risk? Training woke assassins? Yeah. Noblest, you're thinking one step ahead, like most people should be, but they're going to claim it's AI. They're going to use every trick in the book, and they're going to get a pass because of the go. Yeah, Noblest, I've been saying this for a long time. I've been saying it for probably more than a year at this point, that they're going to use AI to claim innocence when it comes to all the terrible things that our elected officials are involved in. If they ever release real information on the Epstein Island and people do try to arrest these individuals, they're absolutely going to say it's AI. They're going to claim it's all fake. They're all cheap fakes. Like I'm saying, I've been saying that for a while. We're just kind of waiting for it to move forward. Ghostly, just put the list into the world. Yeah, problems will solve themselves. Kevin, they should be teaching HEMA in school, so if you got no gun, you can mess people up with just a boomstick if you have to. Well, the federal government doesn't want that kind of stuff. Hey, thanks for being here, Screaming Eagle. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thanks for being here, Metal Mouth. All right, hooligans, we're going to get into the fun stuff. Like I said, we got an unboxing here. We got a couple things to unbox here, actually. And then we're going to be opening today's door of the advent calendar that was sent to us by Hair Juicer. And like I said, we got 2 funny videos coming up. But before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the description in order to send donations. You could do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee. You can even send crypto. All right, we got all kinds of stuff here. I am not sure what is what, but we're gonna find out. First up, we have from Russell. We got 2 movies here. We got Lone Survivor. Yes. And we have Lord of War. We actually watched these trailers during the voice chat last week. I appreciate you, Russell. I can't wait to check these out. Thank you, Russell. All right. Klaus Daniels, you finally gonna join us or what? You're being weird today, and I don't like it. Let's see. We got this. Let's see what it is. Make sure I'm not sharing addresses on the live. Okay. What do we got here? Oh, let's see what we got. What is this? Oh, badass. This is from Tori Wayne and Karma Carson. Got a kitty litter mat here. Keep the house clean. Thank you so much, Tori Wayne and Karma Carson. I really appreciate you. This is for you, Klaus Daniels. Yes, it's for your butt. Sort of. And then we got this here. Let's see. Slips in this. Here, you hold on to this. This for you, buddy. This is Keep This Away from Klaus from Tori Wayne and Karma Carson. Oh, interesting. Oh my God. I can't show you guys all of it. Let me make sure this is right. It's a pen with a female on it. And if you turn it upside down, her clothes fall off. Thank you so much, Tori Wayne and Karma Carson. That is something else. Klaus, you close your virgin eyes. I'm not allowed to see this. Thank you, hooligans, so much. We're going to open today's door of the advent calendar sent to us by Hair Juicer as I'm clicking buttons on the keyboard. I think today is day 10. We're getting her all opened up here. Let's see what we get today. Everybody in the voice chat's going to be asking me to flip the pen over. I just realized that. Well, whatever is whatever. All right, what do we got here? This is... I assume this is for starting fires. I don't know why they didn't give me anything to start a fire with, but I think it's wick. I don't know. You can't see it. Give me a second. Doesn't smell like anything. You can't smoke it, okay? I'm pretty sure it's for starting fires here, though. What are you looking at, crazy? Klaus is having flashbacks from the war. He's like, what do you mean starting fires? Thank you so much, Hair Juicer. Let's put this in our to-go bag here that we're building up. Yes, right where it belongs. All right, now we're going to get into our funny videos. Get on my desk straightened out here. Thank you, Hooligans. All right, this first one, let me get it pulled up. Yep. All right, this first one is titled Kitties and Titties. That's how it goes. All right, let's pull in. Yeah, let's pull in. This is the opposite of pulling out. You guys stop that. This is our official funny video of the day. No, you hold on a second there. Now, that last video was provided by Stoner. This one here is provided by Russell. This is titled Tinder Date Gone Wrong.
My Ring doorbell just recorded this down the hallway.
It's Macy from Tinder. Aren't you David?
You just look different.
How?
I don't know. Look at the height difference. You're like 7 feet tall. No, Macy, I'm not saying that to be mean. It's just you didn't tell me that.
You don't want to go on a date because I'm tall?
No, I don't want to go on a date because I'm short.
You're not short.
You just had to lean down to be eye level with me.
You're not that short, though.
Look at this. I'm wearing Kanzuris.
What the hell are Kanzuris?
My shoes. This is how tall I actually am. Look at the difference.
Those are kind of dope.
Well, they make me like 3 inches taller.
Doing the Lord's work.
I don't care that you're tall.
I don't care that you're short.
So I am short. I'm you.
Just a little bit.
I'm 6 feet. I have to get on my tiptoes to do that. You want to go get coffee still or what?
I'm down.
Cold brew?
Latte.
Alright. I don't know if I can do this if you're going to get a latte.
What the you have against lattes, man?
You want to drive or should we just get on your back? Probably get there faster.
Holy. Now, I swear to God, it looked like she was packing something between her legs there, but all I know is there's hooligans here that would definitely climb that tree. Anyways, grabbing this Linktree link really quick. We're going to drop this link in all of the chats. We're going to read through, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Guess who? You smoked me. That is so funny. All right, hooligans, there's the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7. And we got 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You will also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to the forums, the arcade, and our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats. Plus, you'll be able to join us Fridays for our voice chat right after Coffee with Hooligans. So definitely go join jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the Hooligans. We're going to read through really quick, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Snooks, would you climb that tree? Nah, I don't think so. I got enough self-esteem issues. I don't need to be dating somebody taller than me. Snooks, there was a bulge on that woman. I think she just had a fat kitty. You know, tomorrow, I'm just like, wait. It's not Free Speech Saturday. I'm just saying. Zero, his face is at booby level. I mean, I noticed that. I wasn't going to point it out, but yeah, you're right. Man, damn, I thought that was a man. I wasn't sure what it was. It came crawling up to his door. Guess she was 4 midgets tall. I forgot that's how you measure things. There's what is that? The imperial system, the U.S. standard, and then there's Guess Some's version of measuring. What's up, Winston? Happy freedom. Tree climbing? Yeah, you got to rewind it a little bit, Winston. Thank you, Pumpkin. You're the bestest. What's up, Plastic Quack? Happy freedom. Oh, I appreciate you, AR16. Thank you for being here with us. Kevin, I'm only 5'4". I wouldn't come up to her kneecap. Yeah, she was towering. She was. Elder Zoomer uppies? Yeah, just up. Pick me up. She was scrawny, though. She needs to eat a cheeseburger. Kevin, what the fuck is that? A scarecrow? I don't know what it was. Jeepers Creepers was coming to find some new organs. Freely Texan, I climbed that mountain. Enter user, I can't see the top of her head. The date's off. There's something funny I want to say back to that, but we'll just let it go. Elder Zoomer, well, I wouldn't complain. I'd be scared to. Hit you with that right hook from down the hall like shit. High Plains Drifter, the giraffe girl. You guys are so mean. Bill Clay, don't go starting fires. They didn't give me anything to start the fire with, but at least I got some wick. You know, in case I'm caught and I need to make some fire, I got one of the components needed. Kevin, show us your box. If I had $1. Enter user was a setup. Yeah. Tony Rez, that girl had a tiny head. Yeah, between her legs. I can't. I don't know. Jay Spray, that tree had too many branches. Just sit on her shoulder like a parrot. What's up, Guess Who? Happy freedom to you. Damn, send that to El Salvador. Fucking smokes me, Guess Some. Or Guess Who, my bad. Eggplant tree? Yeah, it was looking like it was... I think it was concealed carrying. I just don't know what it was concealing there. The Adam's apple doesn't fall far from the tree. It does on that tree. That thing was 11 feet tall. What's up, Xterra Bill? Happy freedom to you. What the fuck is that? Yeah, I don't know. I think its name was Macy or something like that. What's up, Dennis? Happy freedom. Hey, thank you for being here, Tactical. Xterra. Just seen a pic of the judge that got busted. Someone photoshopped MS-13 tats on her head. That's awesome. I can't wait to see it. Let's see. I think everybody is good. Zero, it's not Saturday yet. I know. I need to just shut my face. Bill Clay, Brittany Griner, and Tom Cruise on a date? Basically. Little titties and fat kitties. That's right, Kevin. That's a slogan I can get behind. right, hooligans. Let me see. It is that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Choking on the damn cat hair here. Anyways, I just remembered tomorrow is Free Speech Saturday, so that means we will not be live on YouTube or Twitch tomorrow, but we will be live on X, Kick, Rumble, and jeffmaclive.com. So make sure you use that Linktree link in the description of all platforms. That way tomorrow for Coffee with Hooligans Free Speech Saturday, you can come hang out with us, get caught up on the news, and we are going to have an ungodly amount of memes to cover. We have 2 weeks worth of memes that we got to cover because last week I went to a protest. So it'll be good stuff. Remember that tomorrow, so when you don't see us on YouTube or Twitch, you'll know why. We're going to read through one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind, but we are wrapping this up. Like I said, we'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. And if you go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com, you can join us in the voice chat. That'll be about 8 p.m. Eastern time. Like I said, we're going to read through them. We're wrapping her up. Hey, thanks for being here, Jay Spray. Jay Spray, that's not a kitty stuck in that tree. I mean, maybe. I don't know. I didn't see the Tinder pics. What's up, Cadillacs? Happy freedom to you. Russell, voice chatting a little bit. Got to order food. Yeah, I'm going to try and get some food, too. Hey, thanks for being here, Bill Clay. Thank you, Elder Zoomer. Kevin, if she rubbed her legs together, it'd make a noise like a cricket. I think you're right. Thank you, Pumpkin. Much love to you. Thank you, Nishada. Just insane. Sword fight. Nah, she's at face level. I don't want a sword fight with her. Klaus Daniels, let me put you on camera. Yes, he's locked and loaded. It's a big baby. Say hello, Piglet. Yes, say hello. You're a good boy. You're staring right into their soul. It's a tactical kitty. Yes, they thought I was talking to myself. I had to prove you were real. Yes, the legend of Klaus Daniels. He's so beefy. Look at this pig. He's just, yes. I weighed him today, and now I can't remember what he is. 16 pounds? I think he's 16 pounds. I think he lost some weight. You can't tell though. He's just big and fat. Look at, he's offline. All right, stop messing around. You're doing all the damn screwing around, kitty. Yes. Anyways, reading through. Proof of Klaus. Bill Clay, a tactical assault kitty? No. I don't need the government here. That's not an assault kitty. He's just tactical. Plains Drifter, if she rubbed her legs together, 3 Bigfoots would show up. She's actually the Loch Ness Monster. We've just never seen her in the daytime. Thank you, Zero. I appreciate you. Ghostly, grab her by the Klaus. You guys are the best. Elisa, he lost some weight chasing around the new toy. Yeah. Well, and I think he's probably starting to shed his winter coat. Meta, what a stud. I know, I think so too. He's so funny. What's up, Bruce? Happy freedom? Yeah, he's a big Klaus Panther. Appreciate you, Tony Rich. Thank you. It's right status quo. Play ball. Thanks for being here, Xterra. Thank you, Moosey. Grab her by the Klaus. Damn, I want to make some t-shirts out of that. I got to remember. Alistair's so sick of my shit. Like, hey, here's a suggestion for a t-shirt. He's like, whatever, man. Come on, man. Appreciate you, Zeros. A damn good show. I appreciate all of you hooligans. Don't forget, tomorrow is Free Speech Saturday. No YouTube, no Twitch tomorrow because we ain't got time for their soft community guidelines. Use the Linktree link if you've never been to any of the other platforms, because all the live platforms are listed at the top of the Linktree. So definitely utilize the Linktree. I didn't put it together for shits and giggles. It is quite useful. So go use it. Trying to think. I think that's just about everything. I appreciate all of you guys for being here. Thank you for covering the news with me today. Go out there, be safe in the world, get you some good food. I'm gonna try and do the same. And like I said, if you join the membership program over on the website, you can join us for the voice chat at 8 p.m. Eastern time in about 40 minutes. Lots of fun. We spend lots of time researching things and laughing our faces off. So definitely consider getting a membership for jeffmaclive.com. Otherwise, go enjoy your day. And if I don't see you tomorrow for Free Speech Saturday, I will see you Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans. And I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support. And I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.